Hey, what's going on, everybody? My name is Jerry, and welcome to 3DHP. Time for another Saturday Hangout. They last anywhere from 2 to 4 hours, depending on how content goes and people that we have on. I'm live on YouTube right now. I'm on my Facebook page, my Facebook group, and there's a link there in the description that you can pop in if you want to come and hang out and chat with us. If you're on Facebook, I believe there's a line you got to click on above the video. That way we type a comment and chat. We know who you are. And yeah, let's get going. Let's bring some guys in here and see what they're up to. Hey, Matt, what's going on? Hey, Liam.
Hey.
Howdy.
How you guys doing today?
Doing good. Trying to keep out of trouble, but not succeeding.
Hey, we got non-fam in chat. Hello, non-fam. Kieran. Hello, Kieran. Let's see. Andrew S. Hey, Andrew, what's going on? Loopy Lou. Hello, Loopy.
Hiding in the other room.
Let's see. Dum Dum. Hey, Dum Dum, what's going on? Hope you're doing well. Gregory. Hey, Gregory. Dwayne. Hello, Dwayne. Jason M. What's going on, Jason? Kenneth. What's up? Hello and welcome, everybody. HVAC. Sergio. Hello. How you doing, Sergio? So, yeah, it's another great Saturday. I'm glad I'm alive, and I got another 50 years to go. So I'm going to have a lot of streaming, a lot of videos to do. So cool. I don't plan on giving up this hobby anytime soon. So what are you guys been up to?
Who do you want to start with?
Go ahead, Matt. You were here first.
Well, I done my first resin print, done a resin test, but it doesn't come out well on camera. It looks very nice. I mean, there are no flaws inside, and hopefully I can show them off.
Very nice. You got the Frozen Mighty 4K. It's a nice machine.
Yeah.
I'm jealous.
You got a great deal on the Frozen. Mine cost me $500.
Yeah, right now it doesn't come out. The camera doesn't do it justice. It can't focus on it.
Parrots, very nice.
Yeah, it's basically.
They're small, aren't they?
Yeah, this picture.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Yeah, so as Kieran said, so Louise's printer works very well then. Because she won that printer, not Matt.
So, Liam, you go live every Wednesday night. What have you been up to since Wednesday? What's going on?
I've been busy with Toys for Tots, like making little toys like these.
Oh, excellent.
And stuff like these trains.
Nice.
They came out really good.
Yeah, the finish looks nice on them.
Yeah, I do 2 at a time, side by side, with the wheels off, so they sit flat in the bed, and the wheels are printed in front of it. And then I do with my IDEX printer, so I can do like 2 different filaments. One is gold, one is kind of a goldish kind of color.
Any particular brand of filament you're using?
The gold. This is actually Hatchbox. It's the only one I had left of Hatchbox.
Okay.
And the other is actually Yusu. The Yusu. I have a lot of Yusu PLA stuff that I've gotten over time, and I've been using it on the Toys for Tots because IC3D will be shipping me filament probably by the end of the month or early next month or whatever, and I'll start using their material then. But until then, I'm using what I have, the surplus that I have myself. So I've been doing this, and then I've been gearing up to. I've been starting to do some more stuff like I got more slate coasters. So since football season and so on is starting, I'm going to engrave the local, like the Detroit Lions and the Red Wings and so on, to see if people would be interested.
Is it English slate?
No, why would it be English slate in the US?
Yeah, I bought a bunch.
I don't know.
Amazon also.
England does export.
No, actually, Michaels has them. 4 for $5.
Mm-hmm. I don't remember. There's not a Michael's close. There's one in Henderson. I can hop on the freeway, but
yeah. So Michael's have them, so you can go pick them up locally. And even if they don't, my wife also has. My wife got a bunch of these.
We've got another
another
fantastic streamer popping in, a YouTuber. He has an awesome channel, and I've seen all these great colors. And he's live tomorrow night, and here he is. Hey, what's
Hey.
going on, Tim?
Oh, Tim.
How's it going?
How are you?
Good.
Good.
Streams without an accident, 0.
I
think
had
it's going to stay that way. I think it's going to stay that way.
Yeah.
So, but I was saying my wife's going to use these as well because she likes aquariums with fish tanks.
Uh-huh.
So she's actually going to use these to build up areas inside the fish tank to tankscape the layout, and so these are really good for propping up the areas and building out before you put the sand or whatever the soil over the top. So
Those have the little pads on the bottom, right? 4 little pads.
the 4 little soft rubber pads, but they're easy to peel off.
Yeah.
So. But yeah, they're nice. They work. You saw the one.
Just remember, because the glue you need to dissolve in hot water, most likely.
Oh yeah. You just wash it
And soap.
in warm soap and
Yeah.
water. Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah. You actually, Tim, for your backdrop, you need to get the yellow caution tape and lace them around your
I
set.
guess I could do that. I also put this one on for tomorrow. Just let's see if I can do this without this one.
Well, that works.
Yeah.
Well, when you get the 2 images and put them into a PowerPoint and have them rotate, you switch.
Well, this will do a slideshow.
Okay,
Yeah.
so we'll go from one to the next on its
Yeah.
own.
Yeah.
Okay, because I was just saying you could do it in a PowerPoint and have it running in the background.
Yeah. No, it's just I just discovered that I can stick a USB key in the back of this TV and
Oh, it'll play the pictures. Yeah,
plays
yeah.
the USB key. Yeah.
Nice.
Oh, cool. So
So that's
we haven't
what
seen
I've
you
done.
since last Sunday. Tim, what have you been up to?
Not a whole lot. Been getting busy at my full-time gig. I printed some of these things, and you'll see them decorated in my.
Rat
So-
Ring Kitty. Rat, yeah.
Printed those for decorating the printer.
The rat
I don't know
ring.
why it said kitty, it's a rat, but
Yeah, and not a lot. Just been a busy week of. I moved a few things in the studio around. I raised my TV. I have a big screen right up here that I read the chat on. That's my old TV that's failing. I raised it up about a foot because I kept having to lower this monitor too low to read it. So I did that, and I bumped my head on the corner of the TV today. So there we go. But tomorrow, I think I'm pretty much safe. I should be good tomorrow for no injuries.
As
So
long as you wear a hard hat, you should be okay.
we'll see. I should have worn a hard hat today because right here it bumped me. So, but it
Something
wasn't
you
too
have with your head, huh?
Yes. I'm actually, and then I'm printing. I got a couple customer jobs I'm printing on the weekend. Finally got my FlashForge going. FlashForge has released a new Slicer version 5 of their flash print software, and it's actually pretty decent upgrade for them. They've totally changed the user interface as far as the settings, so I'm quite happy with what they've done, and I'm running the first print based on it, and so far so good. So
very cool.
yeah.
I was just checking my. We have a spreadsheet of how many toys we've built, we've done, and let me see here. So on average, I'm doing 209 toys per printer out of 3 printers I'm using right now. So I'm at 11 kilos of material, almost 12 kilos of material. That's
Wow.
627 toys.
Oh, that's great.
So the going is good, but I'm slowing down because not a lot of people are doing these big trains because they take a lot of time.
Mm-hmm.
Like I can do. If you do one of these in the printer, you can do one a day. I do them on the Nidex, so I can do 2 at the same time, 2 per day.
Hey, Gary.
So
Gary?
on average, you're looking at maybe 1 a day on these for most people. And if they put multiples on a big bed, it's still, with a single head, it's going to take 2 or 3 days to do them all, right? So they are slow, but not many people. There's only about 100 or so have made. There's only been about 100 of these printed so far. So I decided I'm going to start dedicating some time to doing more of these because they are a nice little toy. The wheels spin really well, and it's a good quality. I do about a 20% infill to make it strong, so it'll withstand the child. it's kind of childproof. So so I'm going to slow down the small toys I'm doing and spend more time on these because I want to pump out more of these. We need to try and get those numbers up.
Yeah, my hangout last weekend, I had mentioned that I ordered a Comgrow 5-watt laser off Amazon. I would have got it Monday, and I was going to do a video, make some goodies for this live stream or another video. And Monday it didn't come, and I got a notice from Amazon, oh, it'll come Tuesday or Wednesday. And then I got one, then it was lost. And then they said, you probably want to get your money back. So I got a hold of Amazon. I called them on the phone. They're going to ship another one out. Ain't going to come until the 2nd, and the first one's off in the wind somewhere. So now I got to wait till September 2nd to get the one that I ordered last Saturday that should have been here Monday.
Wow.
Oh, well. I mean, that happens like once every year or so. Something like that happens where they just lose your package. So it sucks.
Jason, you're saying you do those in 4.5 hours. What settings are you using and what speed are you printing at?
He's probably on the rat rig going, ooh.
And he's probably using really low. He's probably using zero infill, I'm guessing. But I don't want it. I want it to be strong. I don't want it to be brittle.
Andrew.
Nice.
Okay, for the enders, check out Pet's Fang, Dave Petzel, who has been on this channel many times and been in here hanging out here and on mine and so on. He designs a lot of cooling systems for printers. We call it Pet's Fang on Thingiverse. Just look it up on Thingiverse, and he may have one that will work for you. And he designs really good cooling systems. I mean, they are top notch. So check out Pet's Fang on Thingiverse. You might have one out there.
Most of my quality machines I put on a Noctua fans. A lot of people say they don't move enough air, but I've got really thick Noctuas. They're 40 by 20s. They're only 5 volts, and then I got to put a buck converter and crank the voltage down. But I put Noctuas with a V2 version 2 of Pet's Fang V2 as I got on most of my quality machines.
Yeah, Pet's
Fang.
Fang.
On the Ender, I'm not sure on that one.
Yeah, but the Ender, they basically have the same print head. I believe it's just a backplate that'll vary. So you just need to make sure that there's one out there for that. That'll fit your backplate.
David Petzel has a great design. He goes into he don't just design it and go, wow, that looks good, it'll work. He actually tests it. The airflow and how it's going to perform and everything. He goes all the way through it.
Yeah,
and I haven't seen David on in a couple months. I don't know how he's been, but
he was on one of my streams a few weeks back. But he's just busy at the restaurant now because they're fully open and they're just ramping up, so it's hard for him to get on.
Are you ready?
So Liam, to answer your question about the train, it's 20% infill.
Right.
It's a 0.6 nozzle, so it's 2 walls.
That's why. Okay.
And it's printing.
Hey, Dan.
I had to slow it down a little bit. So the perimeter is at 100. Infill's 120. Everything else is 60.
Yeah. See, I can't because of the IDEX. I could probably get there, but I don't know what quality I'll get.
Yeah, it would take you.
You can achieve that.
Yeah.
I might try switching. Well, I was thinking about switching mine up to a larger nozzle, to go up to a 0.6 or a 0.8 nozzle. Just keep the layer height the same, just wider nozzles, so you have less layer time per wall.
Yeah.
And I might do that, but because I can do 2 of these, but it take about 15 hours to print 2 of them.
Yeah. Yeah. And on wheels. Something that size, the 0.6 nozzle is fine. I think. The
but with wheels, I can do that. Right? That includes. I took the wheels off and laid them I laid them flat on the bed, and they print at the same time. So I set it up with this, and then the 6 wheels in front of it on the bed.
Oh, okay.
And then what I do is I do it on my IDEX. So extruder 1 does one of them, extruder 2 does the other, and I do 2 at a time.
Mm-hmm.
So I think I have a picture here of some of them.
He has them for different printers. They're not all CR10, but
yeah, he does a lot of different printers. Dave does. Like there. Change.
Yeah.
I know it's better this way.
Yeah.
Oh, very nice.
Yeah. Yeah, I was just gonna do the wheels in black, so I was just gonna run them off on a different printer.
What I was thinking to do, because these can pop off on and off easy.
Mm-hmm.
So whatever I do, one in gold, one in black, I may just put the wheels.
Swap the wheels.
And switch the wheels around.
Yeah, there you go. Give it some color.
That's all you have to do, just to make it look different if you want to. Just,
yeah.
But I haven't done a lot of them. I've only done about 7 of these so far. But we need to do more because there's only about 110 of them out there, and others have 20 and 30,000 of them. out of there. So
Yeah.
balance it out would be nice.
Yeah, because you can print those small toys. Like some of those small toys I can print in 10, 15 minutes each if I wanted to. But, you know, if I slow them down a little bit, use a smaller nozzle, they look better.
That's from
Someone
Sam.
had to say it, right?
Is that one piece?
Yeah, it's my latest video. Hollow 2 millimeters thick. That was in the Molazon resin that I just reviewed. Right, I think I released a video yesterday on that. I did a small RoboDeath. This is a free file from Sanix. You can download and print for free.
That's cool. Lovely.
The problem I had on this one, when I hollowed the head, there's 2 layers when he made the model, and only being 2 millimeters thick, there's a there's like an air gap in between the 2 layers. I didn't clean it well enough in IPA, so when I went out in the garage and took my air compressor, I had a little bit of residual resin that basically blew out of it. When I brought it back in the house, I wiped it off and cured it. I should have hit it up with IPA because now I got shiny spots on it from the cured resin. Now that'll paint over fine, but if this would have been a finished product, that would have been an issue. And I should have re-cleaned it in IPA and then blown it back out again and reflushed it really well. And then the third one I did, this is from Wicked. It's a DR.DOOM bust from Wicked. Came out really nice.
Fantastic.
And that's all. Everything I hollow everything that I can to save on resin. I can't. I'm not rich, so when I get stuff sent to me to review, I get a bottle of this, a bottle of that. It only goes so far.
Yeah, but when they're bulky, you should hollow anyway. You should only not hollow.
Yeah.
They're really small,
really tiny things like
there's no sense in wasting.
Yeah.
You don't print everything in FDM with 100% infill, so why would you do it? Yeah.
Hollow this this.
That's funny.
I wouldn't hollow that one.
Daniel on it. I don't know, about a month or 2 ago, Daniel was on as my special guest. I've done his mod bot. I think it's like 200% scale. And let's see. 1 second, Kieran. And here's a flash that I did. That's from Santa.
Oh, that's nice.
That's 2 parts, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
And let's see. And then I got the Starro, I think it's called.
Starro.
Suicide Squad 2. This is off of Fangs from Chaos Cortex. Yeah. Came out really nice. And
somebody's got the little miniature ones too. I forgot who did them, but they have little miniature ones of Starro that you can print off. And I guess you could just smush those down, reduce them in size, and you can make his little star. I don't know if you've seen the movie, but he has all these little stars that shoot out of him.
There's the small ones printing.
Nice.
Yeah, I sliced with Cheetah Box, and they work fine on my printers.
That's the penguins and the little bug.
And the bee.
And the bee.
Yeah.
I call it the bug, the little bug.
Yeah, there's three of those bugs. I've only done 2.
Are you ready?
The flexies. Everybody's doing flexies. I'm not going to bother.
Here it comes. How you doing?
Not too bad. Yeah, Modbot dropped the.
Hey, Kieran, how are you down there?
Good. Modbot dropped the Starro. He did it in the glow-in-the-dark filament this morning.
Oh, cool. Yeah, I think I
looks
seen
quite
him posted something on Twitter. I didn't look at it.
Actually, I have some phosphorescent material there. I have some phosphorescent filament. I haven't used it yet because I don't want to chew up my brass nozzles.
It's resin. It was a resin, glow-in-the-dark resin.
Oh,
yeah.
Liam, my DSLR camera problem I have with resin lapse. I went ahead and I realized I had an older firmware on it, so I downloaded the newest firmware, which came out in 2018. I put that on it. I done a resin print, and same problem. So once that print got done, if you watch my video, when I done this, it was a little choppy when you watch it come out of the resin in the resin lapse. And then when I done this one, all of a sudden it magically was really a real long time lapse, coming out of the resin, obviously like this. And I finally fixed it. I put that program on there you were talking about, Magic
Lantern.
Yeah, I put that on there, and I went in and I turned off a couple LCD settings. I don't remember which ones I turned off 2 things, and then it seemed to work fine. So both these prints came out fine on the time lapse. I'll know in the future if that solved the problem.
Magic Lantern is fantastic. Especially
and it doesn't cause any issues to the camera because it's all on the SD card. So if you don't want to use it, just don't put the SD card in. Put a standard card in. You're good. It's great.
Puppy Cam.
Say hi, Will.
I got a picture for that. Here we go.
Yay!
Yeah.
Good boy. Oh yeah.
Very nice.
Yeah, fur babies are always worth bonus points.
Yeah,
Yeah.
well, my I don't think mine weighs 90 pounds. I don't think I could lift her up on my lap.
Yeah. Well,
Aw,
baby
come on,
baby
Liam.
is a subjective term there,
It is
Liam.
a very subjective term. Yeah. Mine is. She won't. Let me see if I have a picture of her here on my phone.
FDM models, statues, I do like 4 or 5% infill. If it's a structural part, 25, 30%. If it's something real tiny and I want it to be not, as strong as possible, I'll do 100%. That's really rare. And it'd have to be a small part. And my walls, I usually go 6-4-4, 6 top, bottom, and inside. Most of the time. Almost everything behind me.
Come on.
It depends on your nozzle size too. I mean,
0.4 nozzle usually.
if it's 0.4, yeah, if you do
The size of
a 0.6, you only need 2 versus 4 or 3 on a 0.4.
Okay.
Yeah.
I have a 0.6 nozzle on my Max, and I haven't I use my Max in a while. And I've only done, I think, 1 print with a 6. I need to, I don't know how to explain it, Jason, but I got so many different things I'm always doing that nothing ever happens. Like if I start painting this, I'll be watching something while I'm painting something, and then I'll eat it, and then the day's gone. So then I say, okay, I'll do that tomorrow. But tomorrow, like Andrew South gave me that really cool logo that I can 3D print and put lights behind it. I just thought about it this morning. I got it on S3D loaded in the background. I'm going to start that today. And I'm going to do it on the Kai Wu. So I need to make more videos for Kai Wu. Otherwise, they'll be mad at me. So I'm going to print it on the Kai Wu and time lapse it. And that'll make a great video. And I can plug Andrew in it. I'll even show him on screen. So that'll be cool.
There you go.
So, I love plugging people, plugging companies, and, we just move forward.
No, I know the feeling. You start something and then you start something. Oh, that's cool. Oh, look. And so-and-so dropped a new model.
It's called.
Wait, what's that?
And then the wife reminds you what you should be doing at the start of the job.
She wants her Betty Boop painted that I printed
That's
over
what
a year ago. I resin printed the Betty Boop, and I've never painted it.
Yeah. See, we all suffer with the same thing. It's called the squirrel complex. Squirrel?
Yep. True.
Yeah.
I mean, I finally finished the mobile I was doing for my nephew's young baby, and that's going to get packed. It's all packed up and going to get posted tomorrow. So finally, yes, something finished and gone.
Nice.
They live in Australia, right?
He's in New Zealand.
Okay,
he's in
so
lockdown at the moment.
a year from now he'll get it.
Yeah,
So
a year
by
from
the
now I'll
time
get
he's
it.
out of
Yeah,
the
most likely
crib,
find it's too young.
It'll show up.
It's going.
Yep,
It's
yep.
going to go by canoe.
Get there faster. No, actually, postage to New Zealand from Perth.
Hey, Matt, how you doing?
I mean, it's got to go all the way across Australia and then get across New Zealand, and it'll take about 8 days.
No worries.
But it's probably going to go by air, is it?
We'll go by 8 days.
Be
Yeah.
faster then.
Yeah.
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 Like,
Which isn't too bad.
I don't believe Rene has gotten his part yet. I think it's still stuck in Danish customs.
That's got to be a record, though. Really.
Oh, it's been it's been almost 3 months now.
I mean, Jerry's understandable. I mean, Jerry's stickers are faster. It's a lot closer.
Well, I was concerned. It took a month to get there. The man's going to think I didn't nail him when I'm pulling his leg.
No. I trusted you, Jerry. I did tell you it'd take about 4 to 5 weeks. I did say that.
Last week, I forget the person that was in chat, and they wanted a sticker, so it went out the next day. So it mailed last Monday, and I forget where it was going. Oh, it's going to South Africa to Jocko, I think.
Cape Town. Was it Cape Town? Cape Town, was it Milan?
Cape Town, Jocko.
Yeah.
I mailed him a sticker Monday, so I'm not sure when he'll get it, but it's on its way.
If it's not priority, it'll take 4 to 5 weeks. If it's DHL or something else, we're not going to pay that for some money for it. But it depends what you want. So
I go to USPS over here on Vegas Drive in Nellis, which you don't know where that is. Jason might. And I bought a book of stamps. They're international. They're red. One stamp goes anywhere in the world on one letter. So like $1.10 or something. No big deal.
It's not priority email,
No.
so therefore I said 4 to 5 weeks. So I wasn't worried about it. I did tell you, so I got there 4 to 5 weeks. 5 weeks. That was pretty good.
I had a guy who's going to send me a couple of heater blocks for the under 3 that he makes himself. He's in Russia. He mailed them February.
Whoa.
What year?
Nothing.
Yeah.
Did he give you a tracking number?
I've got the tracking, but when you do the tracking, apparently it's still in Russia somewhere.
Wow.
So now
It all depends. I got some stuff from TH3D early this year, and it took 6 weeks to get here.
wow.
it got that bad. I actually they had to chase the courier for a refund, and and I reordered it, and it turned up after I ordered it.
Wow.
Well, that
After
might
I
happen to
ordered
you,
it, it
Jerry.
turned up.
That might
Man.
happen with your laser, Jerry. You might end up with 2 of them instead of 1.
What's that?
Yeah.
That may happen with your laser. You may end up with 2 of them instead of 1.
Well, when I called them up to reship, when I said, don't mess with what's already in the mail that might show up today or tomorrow, but she did. Because the minute I went and looked back on Amazon, it said that it's being reshipped where that one was listed, and then it shows the new one.
But it may already be in motion, so they can't
Yeah,
stop
if
it.
it's
So they
already-
still, they still get it.
motion,
Yeah.
Yeah, if it's
Yeah,
already
yeah.
with the carrier,
And I
it
told
may
her, I
show
said,
up.
if it does show up, I'll call
Hey,
you
Matt.
up and let you know, but then it didn't. What's that, Matt?
No, I said, hey, Matt, Akuma Moss.
Oh, okay, okay.
Oh, yep.
And I guess this is since I can't read the last word, I'll say it's
Manjimup.
Africa.
Yeah, that's not too far. Because I'm in, it's not far from me, Manjimup. Well,
Okay.
in Perth, everywhere's close.
But okay, I just messaged Rene about the part I sent to him. He said, not yet. It's still stuck in at customs. He sent him all the papers. And he doesn't know what's going on, and he can't call them because they don't have a number to reach. So he has to deal with them in whatever process they use, and then it's taking forever. So it's been the last 3 weeks now in Danish customs.
Wow.
So it's 6 weeks sitting in Chicago before it was even decided to before they put it on a plane, right? Last summer in Chicago, and then now once it finally got to Denmark, it's sitting almost 3 weeks now, over 3 weeks now in Danish customs.
Well, those things take time. You just
It
have to be
shouldn't take
patient.
that amount of time. They told me it was going to be a 10-day return, 10-day shipping.
Wow.
I think my latest resin I reviewed called Molazon, that came straight from China, and I think it took a little over a week to get here. I've had printers come straight from China, and they get here 4 or 5 days.
Yeah,
I guess they ship them air. I don't know.
yeah, they do. They do with the
If it's air, that's different. Yeah, it's the boats that can't get in and out.
This went by air, out of Chicago International. It just got lost in Chicago International for 6 weeks,
Yeah, crazy.
and now that Danish customs is sitting there.
At least it got to Denmark, which is at least it's promising, you know.
You know, stuff. The shipping stuff to Australia was faster than shipping it to Denmark.
Yeah,
That's crazy.
it is crazy, but that's the world we live in now. Yes, can't rely. Well, the only ones I've seen that do good, Amazon Prime. That the delivery dates are pretty good. DHL definitely.
Mm-hmm.
That's about it. Those two definitely are
They
the.
do pretty well for me.
I've had some
for me,
UPS stuff
here-
that takes. Yeah.
No. I get stuff with UPS, not USPS. USPS is atrocious.
Yeah,
UPS,
sorry, yeah,
they
correct.
do okay. DHL are very prompt. They often deliver early in a lot of cases with me.
Well, they run their own commercial airlines. It's different for DHL because everyone uses them for the freight as opposed to them carrying out. They run their own planes for all the freight, so everyone space shares for them, so they will get stuff as promised.
So they're like,
And of course you pay for it. Yeah.
now, but I've had stuff delivered with DHL that arrived. Like the very first resin I got arrived broken, if you remember, and that was all smashed up, and that was DHL. And then they sent me another one, and that arrived in a wooden crate to make sure it survived, and that arrived fine.
But that wasn't their fault because it was packaged well, wasn't it? It was just purely and simply how it got delivered.
Well, it was packaged fine. It was actually DHL damaged it in shipping.
There was a company on eBay. I bought a nice miter chop saw, $600 and something what they sell for at Lowe's. On Amazon, eBay, I got it for like $450. Brand new from a company in Omaha. It's a DeWalt compound miter saw. And when I got it, it had cardboard inserts in it and a lot of airspace. It had no styrofoam whatsoever. The cardboard inserts were crushed. The box was damaged. The saw had a cracked handle. Another part of it was scuffed up like a road burn, rubbing on asphalt. Really ticked me off. Well, you think I'm going to pack this up and mail it back to Omaha? No. I went down to Lowe's, bought one cash, brought it home, took it back, and I got the money back. It's going back to the company where it came from,
Yeah.
but I done a quick swap, and there was nothing wrong with it because it's still a DeWalt product, and they shouldn't have used cardboard inserts because they crushed and fell over, and the saw was banging around in the box and shipping. It should have been styrofoam like a printer.
Yeah,
Why
but you
it
know
wasn't, I have no idea.
I don't think when they designed the packing for a lot of these things, they intended one single one to go out and be handled the way that UPS and FedEx does. They were meant to be palletized, put on a truck, and take it to a Home Depot or a Lowe's or whatever. Yeah.
I agreed. So, but the like I've even been told once at Home Depot, they told me I got something there and it was damaged, and it was just inside in warranty. It died and it was within warranty. And the guy in the store said, "Come in, buy a new one." He said, "Bring it home, and then put in the same box. Put the damaged one into the box and bring it back." They just look inside to make sure it's one of those devices. They don't check serial numbers or anything. And he said, "We'll ship it back, and that's the fastest way to get a swap rather than dealing with the warranty, because the warranty will take weeks." Just do that.
What the company in Omaha should have done, since it came probably from wherever I ordered it from, probably is cut it open, go buy a bag of popcorn, fill it up with popcorn, tape it back shut. Then that way it can't happen. But more than likely, they might have just been selling them, order them from one place, and they drop ship it. They might have just been like a middleman, the one selling them.
But you can't just blame them. From a company that shall not be named, I ordered a complete hot end assembly for this printer, the whole assembly, with the rollers, the whole lot, and a spare motherboard. Guess where they put the motherboard? Inside the box, loose, with the hot end assembly.
With the hot end assembly, nice.
Unreal.
Yeah.
Talking about motherboards, I need to check see where the status of mine is.
That's on my use an emergency pile. The motherboard is, but I have another one. So
I sold my CR6SE.
Hey Sam.
Hey Sam, I'm not old.
Yeah.
I'm young.
Well, nothing wrong with it. Was printing fine, so why not?
Well, I just had to make space.
Yeah.
And then Big Tree Tech came out with that new printer, and Kersey opened it up Saturday to check out the connections and everything on the board. And one of the power leads, a negative, wasn't even hooked up. It was loose. No. I'm thinking, that kind of art can cause a problem, burn the board down. That's crazy. I mean, things happen, but they need to check them better and be very careful where they put their hot glue.
They must have mixed up the one that was supposed to go to John.
Yeah. And then when you buy a Big Tree Tech board in the mail, what do you get? You get a duck. Well, when you buy the printer, I don't think they give you a duck. So
now, to be fair, John's leads were attached. We know that because we knew that for certainly.
Big Trees take their little rubber duck, since they make the printer, and glue it inside somewhere. So if you ever take the bottom off, you got a duck right there glued in, so you still got your duck.
Oh, that's funny.
That would be kind of funny, and you still get the duck. There you go. Yeah, I've got like 7 or 8 of them.
Did you sit on yours there, Liam? It looks a little sad.
No, it's the way it's squashed into the octopus box. There's not an awful lot of space in there. So you have to, look, it's going to get to be headed.
Yeah, good video, Sam. Slice Engineering, when you were talking to, I forget the man's name. I watched most of it last night right before I went to bed. Good interview.
Unfortunately, I'm the oldest one on the stream at the moment, so in my case, it definitely qualifies.
I think I'm into trouble.
So for Kieran's next birthday, we're going to buy him one of these walking frames.
And man, it's already on order. It's already on order, man.
Hey Steve, how you doing?
I paid extra for the deluxe tennis balls to go on the leg just to make sure.
No, I can. Go ahead, Jerry.
Non-fam, are you going to jump in today, non-fam? I remember your comment last week.
Yeah.
Or actually, no, that might have been Carl. I think that was Carl, and I haven't seen Carl in chat yet.
So now that we got Kieran into doing now that Kieran is doing droid builds, when Kieran gets his walker, he's going to put droid tracks on it. He's going to drive it around.
Now I'll build the sand crawler. It's big enough to ride around on.
I can see him with his walker and droid tracks and an RC unit driving it around the old
you see the size of that? The sand crawler is over 1 meter in length and about 1 meter high. So that's the one. Just sit on that, put a seat on that, and off you go.
Yeah, I can see you having that all done before Liam has the tracks on his telescope.
Yeah, put the baby in the sand crawler.
And I can see him then with his t-shirt saying "Blazing Saddles" along the back.
I've got a walker folded up next to my washing machine in the laundry room. A few years ago, when I had my surgery, I had to go buy one. I needed it. Trust me. When I had my surgery, I couldn't even walk. I definitely needed that to get up out of bed and to go anywhere. So
yeah,
I almost died twice, according to the doctors. But I was procrastinating, wouldn't go to the hospital thinking, oh, I'll get better. And I just kept getting worse and worse. And both times they said, you almost killed yourself.
Wow.
So you can actually put tracks on that and ship it to Kieran.
Yeah.
Feel the love, guys.
Oh, yeah. Oh,
Could have gotten worse. We could have hounded Jerry for being a failure, for not going all the way and killing himself twice. You're just gonna halfway
he's
do
working
it.
on it.
Why bother?
Oh, come on.
You know, Kieran,
bad.
actually, we're giving you a hard time. Means we like you, right? If we ignore you, it means we don't like you, right?
That's the only reason I came in, because I was waiting for the abuse to start appearing in chat. So I thought if I jump in, there would be less abuse.
No.
Silly me.
It's more fun in person.
Well, there is that.
Yeah. See, Matt's been nice and quiet up in the top corner, thinking he's going to get away with it, but he's actually very wrong. And so is Tim.
Hey Matt, how did you feel? Reckon that resin lithophane off in about one fraction of the time for your.
Sorry, Matt
the
is not
imprinters.
here. Please leave a message after the tone.
How did you find the speed difference with the resin printer on the lithophane?
Yeah.
Pretty good.
You're not waiting 4 days anymore
Right.
for to get a finished product.
And was that done flat or vertical, just for a test? Did you do that one flat?
Vertical.
Yeah,
so
so
you
actually
then
go
you can
quicker.
stack.
Yeah, he can go larger.
But I should
I love
print it
that.
this way. Oh,
That's that DIY laser. If anybody in chat wasn't here last week, that I built, and I ordered a bigger laser head from Comgrow last Saturday, and I mentioned it should have been here Monday, and I haven't received it, so I'm going to upgrade the laser on it so I can do another video on it.
What's the focal length of that laser? I'm wondering what the focal point, because your stepper motor might be in your way. Jerry's got a phone call.
Yeah. So you can happily print with the verticality there, Matt. You can print 1 or 3 or 4 in the same time, which is the bonus on that one.
I know.
You're salivating at the thought now. Yeah, you can do all 4 sides with a different picture. You can do your 4 sides at once, and so you can print the whole thing off in one hit.
The camera doesn't do it justice. I'm sorry, guys. But it is a really nice picture.
I think Jerry should do a Bart Simpson when someone that calls him again while he's on stream and go, Joe's crematorium, you kill him, we grill him.
That looks good, Matt.
Yeah, that resin is nice. The guy done 1 or 2 resin lithophanes, and they came out fantastic. So, and with the 4K, you got such a big volume, and you can as Kieran was saying, you can stack them. Like
you can do your four sided lamps in one hit.
A millimeter or so between each one, and print
to drainage.
multiples. So if you're doing something that's square with 4 separate images, you can bring them all in at one time and print them at the same time, and then pop them off the bed and just assemble it afterwards.
You know,
but don't forget though, Liam. That's only if Loopy Lou lets them use it for his lithophanes once in a while.
Yeah, she gives them permission to use her printer.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, so they may not get a chance.
Yeah.
She's just letting him break it in, just to make sure it's all working before she takes over and does her stuff.
Yeah.
Tune in the profiles for it, get it nice and set up.
Exactly. Yep.
Yeah.
Test out the safety goggles, make sure they all work, and then he's into it.
Tim.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have a jam print head, so I'm gonna work on that while we talk.
Heat gun, take it off turn the heat gun on it, melt it, clean it out, and you're done.
Yeah, I want to just have a look at the nozzle and see what's going on.
Yeah. But that's
so if you cut yourself here, and this is a stream, do you go to -1 on the sign behind you?
Possibly.
But it's not his streams.
No, it's not my
Well, it doesn't specifically say that either.
True.
So,
It streams without
streams.
You know, he just burned himself on a nozzle, so that's another.
It says DWIT 3D streams, actually. It's got the logo above it.
on the top.
Yeah.
True. Yeah. Well spotted there, Jerry. So
Tim, did you
got a
just
head
burn
on
your
jail free
finger?
card.
He just burned his finger.
No.
Can't do it.
No. Look,
We can rewind it and check,
Yeah,
Yeah.
rewind and just double
it's warm,
check.
but it's not that hot.
That means yes.
That's what she said.
That means yes. He actually did.
Yeah, Chris's stream Saturday when he almost knocked the printer off the table. He went like that. I need to go back and rewind that and do a snip of that and throw it up on Twitter where his eyes are really big. It's like he almost knocked it off the table. It's not funny.
Let's crank it up to 245 and see what happens.
It was bad. It was bad enough the Handy Badger stream this morning when you dropped all his clips on the floor right at the end there.
I was there for a while, but then I left. I didn't see him do that.
I wasn't available this morning to look at his
I didn't watch it either. Yeah.
I had to give him some abuse about his wiring. It's confused the hell out of him with single pole switches versus 2-pole switches. So,
is he like what was he building? What printer is he building?
Voron one.
Oh, the mini, the small.
Yeah, yep.
The V1s, yeah. All right.
And he finished the stream without going black, which was good. So I turned it on, lights came on, so he was happy.
Yeah,
so didn't trip his breaker.
Yeah,
it was a win.
What's his name? Zachary. He's doing a Voron as well. He's
doing the Voron one as well.
Yeah.
But there was a bit of confusion on his last stream with the wiring, so I think he's got it sussed now. With the heated bed, wasn't sure about the heated bed, how it gets powered. He wasn't sure about the solid state relay.
Oh, okay.
That's like the easiest part, and so many people get hung up on it. And they're like, do I still bring 24 volts to the bed?
Yeah,
do I still run this? And you're like, you bought a 120 or 230 volt
heater bed. Yeah.
Why? Or I've seen people connect them straight to the 24 volt pins, the screw terminals on the board, and then wonder why their bed heater doesn't work.
Yeah, Tim.
But it's understandable. I mean, when you think about it, it's a concept shift of mains to the heater board through an solid state relay.
Yeah, and most
people
people don't put out a good diagram or a good instructions because they don't want to be responsible for you doing it wrong.
TH3D had several those SSRs, the Chinese version, but his are, I guess, better than one ZYLTECH has. And I bought one from him. He sent me a diagram and he posted it online. I have the picture somewhere and how to properly wire it. And then I put a fuse in it. I got a button in line for a reset.
That's what I'm saying on Zach's stream. The SSR that comes with his kit, they're very marginal on the load. So
the SKR,
for another couple of euros, you get a much better relay.
1.4 turbo powers it. Obviously turns it on and off, but it's got its own power source.
And it was the same for the PSU. The PSU will do the job, but it's right on the limit. So you really want to make sure you've got that margin, and it's saying the same thing. You really want a better power supply and a better. I mean, it's fine to get it powered up and tested, but I wouldn't run it for a long job.
Tim took one apart, and one SSR it had hardly any epoxy or whatever they put them together with, resin, I guess. When they pour them, and the ones like he has, he showed how they're solid. These other ones didn't have as much in them, and
it's normally sealed with PEEK. They melt them with PEEK or equivalent for the high temperature.
But
you also got to look to make sure that the solid state relay inside is legit, because they'll brand them and say you've got this and it's rated to this, and it's not. It's made in somebody's backyard and they're selling it to you.
Oh, you like the 40-watt laser that only outputs 5 watts?
Or half a watt. Yeah.
No, a 40-watt will do 5.
They need to take down the banner and have the proper banner. Don't try to mislead people.
Well, I've had words with Soval about this.
When they made the banner, they probably didn't know any better, and they said, 40 watt. And then the write-up,
the marketing guys don't, who put together the banners and so on. But I told them, and every time I see someone posting that, I'll say, you need to realize that your input power is not your output. Your output is roughly 1/4 your input, roughly. So if they give us a 10-watt in, right?
Two hours.
You're getting 2.5 hours, what you're getting at most, right? So, and they need to post the output power, because the output power is what people.
Is what you're dealing with. Yeah.
I'm surprised that instruction manuals, Cheetahbox Pro that I have, for instance, there's certain menus where they spelled words wrong. I'm like, why did you do that? It's like, you go through this with a fine-tooth comb. I'm sure you have people that speak English and write English, obviously.
So it's purely translation. That's translation.
They use Google Translate or whatever like that to get it. If it gets wrong, it gets wrong.
Yeah.
Or they'll use Babel or whatever, something along those lines. Yeah. So that's what they do. That's why the verbiage is often inaccurate. It sounds more like Yoda speaking.
I mean, you see that with Creality and all these other ones, where even with the live streams, all the texts and all the people they have, they're all Chinese only, and they've got to have a translator to actually understand what the questions are for some of these live streams.
Yeah, and that's just an added cost for spell checking and document checking when they put those, and it really doesn't matter to them.
Yeah.
You know, if they don't care enough about the quality they put into some of their products, do you think they're going to take the effort and put it into a manual,
for the menu,
3-page manual?
Yeah.
Let alone the print, let alone the menu on the firmware. Yeah.
Then it's good they have PDFs online. That way they can make changes as they go, or you find something you can correct and they can get in there and change it real quick. So it's not a printed document.
That's why the Voron manual and the online build manual and the Prusa is quite good with the added comments where they don't quite go for the detail or the gotcha moments for doing things.
Not everybody knows everything. So
the Rat Rig manual's got that. Their online one as well.
Yeah, just like
it doesn't
Prusa,
have as
where they
many
actually
comments as the Prusa stuff, but I mean that's the difference of being out for 5 years and being out for 5 months. Yeah. But we keep a close eye on Tim and make sure he doesn't mess anything up. Anything else up.
Too badly. But Tim's got to tell us some of the things he's learned ahead of Jason this time. He's got a few hints for Jason now.
If anybody watching the chat has any questions, you please post them. If you'd like to drop in, I can post the link again. You're very welcome to drop in and talk about what you've been working on your hobby projects.
And it doesn't matter the names that Tim calls me. He likes it when I let him suffer for 15, 20 minutes before I tell him how to do something right.
Wait till you see what I do with a 3 by 50 millimeter screw. You'll be impressed tomorrow.
As long as it involves lube, we don't care too much, Jim. As long as lube.
That was a very nebulous statement. I'm sure minds are wandering all over the place.
Tune in tomorrow to see what I do with that screw.
Lube. All I can say is lube.
Assuming it's not a family-friendly show.
I promise never to disappoint.
I try to be family-friendly, but occasionally a word will pop out here and there. Let's just, as long as they're not really hardcore words in my book. So.
Yeah.
From who? From who?
Yeah.
Not like George Carlin.
What?
Yeah, there's only one person.
I think I have a clean language.
What is your problem? You're needy today.
Maybe he needs to go outside.
No, the door's open.
Hey, Dan, how you doing?
Oh,
hey,
Dan's saying hardcore words.
He's checked the floor for leaks already, so it can't be that. He didn't hear that one.
No, he didn't.
That one.
Somebody posted on Facebook a while back, like a week ago. They said, "What's the worst thing you've ever stepped in your entire life?" And this was my answer. Hey, here he is, Chris from Kersey Fabrications. Hey, buddy, how you doing?
Hey, Chris.
Hey guys, how you doing? Hopefully my audio is my audio okay? Can you hear me?
Good.
Yeah, audio's good.
Okay.
We were just talking about you.
Oh, were you?
Yeah. About
That's why I had to come in.
off the table.
Don't worry, it was all good.
On the board and...
It was not all good. Don't lie to him.
So how's the beer doing?
It actually did really well. I mean, all I did was the little test print. My only thing is I'm ready to do a video on just me getting this print off of here because as of yet, it won't come off.
Really?
It is well stuck, and I thought that them telling me to clean it with water instead of IPA was actually going to help it come off, and this is now permanently part of that glass.
Do you have a ZYLTECH spatula that might get under it, maybe?
I actually have a spatula that actually is ground down to actually be like a point, and I can get under it, but I can't get far enough under it yet to pop it off the bed.
Put some IPA along the base. It'll wick in under it and soften it enough, hopefully, to pop it off.
Yeah, that's what I thought. I thought the IPA may work, but I haven't done it yet.
Heat the bed back up, let it slightly cool, and put it in the fridge.
What about tapping it?
I think I'm going to go get a hammer and just see what happens.
Yeah,
there you go.
Can't film it if you're going to do something wild. Have it on tape.
We'll just do it live right here. You can see what happens.
Do you have the plastic razor blades?
Just tap it with the handle of the scraper.
Yeah, no.
There we go. DB Dan, a heat gun. Put a heat gun on the base.
So many
cap it with the
ideas.
handle.
Yeah,
So many
Or
Cap it with the
ideas.
handle on the back of the head.
Tap
Kind of like Betty
the
Boop
bear's
hits.
feet. Smack the bear's feet, not the head.
There you go.
You see how this is on here. I mean, this
Wow,
is no
crazy.
joke.
Yeah.
That is
Now you want
solid.
to. Yeah.
Where's Betty Boop? She can come show you how to smack somebody in the back of the head.
Yeah.
I mean, I can see, like, when I check out underneath the bear, you can actually see where it's still adhered to the bed. And all I've got
that's
off
funny.
is just
Or an
around the edge.
Wow.
An ice cube.
Yeah,
Get an
you can
ice
see
cube.
that
Just
there.
put an ice cube
Wow.
on the back of it. Put an,
See,
put
I've
an
got
ice
the
cube on the back
edge.
of the plate. An ice cube.
I've
Just
got,
throw the whole thing. Just throw the whole thing in the freezer.
Yeah.
I've
the
done
whole
that.
thing.
I've done that before with prints, and it's never worked for me.
Is that PG? What is it?
Just
Yeah, we
rub
got-
the ice cube
It's like
over
a
the
big-
footprint.
Liquid
That'll work fine.
nitrogen.
What's that called?
Heat gun. on the
Any
back side
cubic
of
type
that.
bed?
Stick of dynamite.
Is it Pet G or?
Hold on. Here it comes.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
There
Oh,
we go.
yeah.
Oh,
Is there any glass missing?
No glass missing, believe it or not. Since it wasn't PETG, I guess it
Nice.
worked it out. But it
Wow.
adhered.
He got his first layer squished down pretty damn good.
Yeah, and which is pretty good because since that was all auto leveling, I didn't do any leveling on it myself. I'm pretty impressed.
Nice.
It's a nice.
New
It's a,
filament, off you go.
it's a pretty nice printer. I mean, I'm not a big fan of fixed beds because I believe in trimming the bed out. But
Yeah.
like, you know, if you're not printing anything that has to be like perfectly, you know, accurate in the Z direction, then it's probably fine. Most people don't print, you know, mechanically accurate parts that have to be, you know, that tolerant.
Wow.
Yep.
Very nice.
That's what heat sink inserts are for. and bolt the
I don't think
bastards
I've ever
together
had
should be
a print
fine.
stick
Yeah.
That well, to stick that much to a bed.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's too much for me. I'm definitely. I mean, most of my beds are like this. Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to take this bed and I'm going to flip it over,
You're gonna flip it over.
and I'm just going to
Yeah.
side. 'Cause that's
And you
what I
find it'll
do.
never stick again.
I use the
Nano.
Vision Miner nanopolymer stuff, and it works really well.
Yeah.
I've been printing. I'm working. My wife and I are going to Dragon Con this weekend, or next weekend. And we've been printing for the past several years I've been printing giveaway items where I'll hide them places or we'll do trades, and they do this whole swag and seek is what they call it. And so people homemade things and bring it in and you trade for other things, or you just leave them around the convention for people to find. So I've been printing these little vials that, what's it called? Clock Spring recently designed. And I'm printing like trays of those on glass using the Vision Miner, and not a single one of them's come off yet.
The new skull little vial. That one?
Yeah.
Yeah, the one he just dropped this week. Yeah.
I'm printing them at 150% the size that he gave them to us as, because they're really tiny.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm going to give those away. I might have 100 of them or so before I go.
You should do the Zach did on his recent printer. He did a
Baby benchy.
really tiny benchy. I mean, it's the size of the tip of your finger.
Yeah.
And he
1/3
did
the
a series of
size.
those.
When he could hold it, kept on dropping it all the time.
Yeah, get dropping it all the way. Yeah, he's a bit like
Spent
Tim.
more time looking for it than actually holding it in his hand. Yeah.
Was that FDM or did he do it with resin?
FDM.
FDM, and it was tiny. Now this
Yeah.
smoke, this stack was a bit off because it spent too much time there with the nozzle because it got too hot, right?
Right.
So if
Yeah.
you do multiple
15
and
minutes.
move around,
15 minutes was his 1/3 size. Yeah, 15
Yeah.
minutes.
Yeah, but if you do multiples, it'll do a layer, move on, do a layer, and it'll have time to cool.
Chance to
before
cool
it's
off.
back
But
again.
let's be honest, unless you're into 3D printing or something, you're not going to probably care very much about a benchy.
No,
Yeah.
that's true.
I'm actually about to heat this printer back up right now and start my next tray of prints over here.
That's your 5+, right?
Yeah, that's one of them. I've got two.
Yeah, I love my 5+.
Yeah, that 5+ is the one that's running the what's that called? The Lurge board still.
Okay.
I put the Lurge main board in there for a review, and it's just never come out because it just works, and I don't have to worry about it. And you know, it's kind of like what I was saying recently in that H2 that I've been playing with. is the biggest problem I have with the H2 is I have to worry about it and I have to babysit it, and it's just giving me a headache. And but I find if I put something in a printer and then I don't have to touch it, it just stays there because it just does its job.
Yeah.
Reliability is the most important thing. You don't want to have to, kill a print. You should see this print I've got here that I printed. It spent like 4 days on this print, and then ended up having to kill it off because I couldn't resume it anymore. But it was heartbreaking.
I've lost trays of stuff recently because
here it is.
outages.
Here it is. Look at this.
No.
Oh no!
This is Jafar's, from Aladdin. This is the head of his staff, and I'd never taken the time to print it before because this requires an obscene amount of supports to print correctly. And I was printing it, and you can see I resumed it here. I resumed it here. I resumed it here. This was every time. This was from a filament run out, obviously. And then I resumed it like 2 more times where I ran out of where the H2 clogged. And then I did it 1 more time, and it didn't work right. So
Is that a full size? That's been scaled up because that looks a little bit larger with the
no,
snake and everything.
it's pretty. I think it's pretty 1-to-1. This was from Nico Industries.
Okay.
Yeah, I hate when filament breaks. It didn't hit your runout sensor. And you wake up the next morning and it's printing in midair, and it's like, oh my god.
Well, it does show why you want one of the active filament runout sensors instead of one of the just the switchy ones, because if it was the active one that was actually tracking it, right, it would have at least stopped early and not 2 centimeters above where I finally caught it.
Yeah.
But
cool.
So I didn't mean to interrupt whatever you guys were talking about. I don't know what you were saying about me before I came in.
Nothing good, of course.
We were just talking about you.
Printer. I need to go back in your video and do a screenshot
The abuse,
where your eyes
throwing
got
something
bigger and almost went off the table.
I'll tell you what, that was a fun stream, and I know I had several accidents, but that's what's fun about doing it live.
Yeah.
But that's the best part about live.
Right.
Seeing the warts and all.
If it all
not
goes
sanitized.
to plan, then what was the point?
Well, I have to say, since with so much going wrong, I think Chris and Tim are kindred spirits because he's like
Hey, Lightspeed, how you doing?
Tim has an awful lot of actions. He's cut his head and all during his live streams.
Hey,
So
Lightspeed.
your kindred spirits.
What's up, guys? How are you?
Hello, Lightspeed. How you doing?
Hey.
Nice.
Hey, Chris. How are you?
Doing well.
You're very little,
Yeah,
so I'll make you big so we can see you.
Chris
What
got
you
about Chris got about $50 out of me the other night, I think.
One thing I've learned about doing the live streams, though, it only takes that one person to get that going, and then it's just turns into. But like if you have a live stream where the first person never donates anything, you'll go a whole live stream and nothing.
I mean, you look at like Joel streams. Sometimes he's taking $1,000+ away each stream. I bet.
I'm sitting there watching Joel streams, going, "Why aren't you streaming all the time?"
Me too, dude. That's exactly what I'd be streaming twice a day.
I mean, don't get me wrong. You've gotta throttle it a little bit, but I'm sitting there trying to figure out, like, I would at least have a regular schedule.
Right.
And he's got a backlog of printers waiting to be reviewed.
Oh, yeah. I know he does. I know he's got a stack of them, and like he started to be able to get sponsors for like every one of his live streams now.
It's
So
mostly Fangs though. Fangs are his primary sponsor, aren't they?
Oh, there's Dan. He's not showing up anymore.
Yeah.
You have
He's
Thunder,
coming,
man?
Dan, to help spread the abuse.
Everybody's
Well,
always
Dan-
I didn't know Dan had Thunder. Yeah, Dan, come on, bring it on.
Only when it rains.
We got to stream sometime.
Yeah, Walter from Country 3D might pop in. Andrew Sink might pop in. I've
many
got a
people
bunch
do
of
you
different
invite?
people I contacted that might pop in.
We're not all going to fit.
I think I can do 10, 9.
10, yeah.
I'm surprised you can do this many.
I have to make a confession, Lightspeed. I've strayed from the path.
Yeah, I pay
what's
$25
that?
a month for StreamYard, but
I
I don't have
unfortunately printed something that wasn't a clock spring vase.
Oh,
Sorry.
yeah? Yeah.
Or is it? this gold one behind me. It's not clock springs, but the wife liked it, so I had to print it off. Oh, hang on. There we go. This is not a clock spring one. I strayed from the path. Sorry, guys.
Very nice.
Yeah, but see,
That's nice, though.
But that
Where's that
allows
from?
you
Yeah.
to buy more filaments because you printed something.
Well, that's it. Exactly. I have no issues with filament buying because she's happy, but I had to stray from the path. It wasn't a clock spring.
Was that
Sorry.
base mode or no?
Yep, phase mode. It's it's called the Impossible Vase version 2 on Thingiverse. But- Yep, sorry, straight from the path though. It wasn't the clock spring vase.
Yeah, I was one of the. I think I was very beginning of the clock spring thing, but he is the best value on Patreon. I mean, not to take anything away from anybody else, but when you're talking, $10 a month, I mean, he just constantly every week delivers over and over and over again. So
And it's not the same stuff like those new little baby vases. He's just done the new.
Yeah. Like, look at this thing, dude. This thing is like, so.
Yeah,
He
my
sent
daughter
me-
has
he-
one of those now.
He sent me the this is like a year ago. He had one of these that was a dual gear one, and he sent it to me. It was a prototype to try to print. He said, "Hey, will you try to print this on your Prusa?" And so, and it was a pain. It was so hard to print, man. Oh my god, it took forever to print. But this thing is so freaking cool, man. Like, I don't even know how somebody like dreams this up in their head. Like,
No, it's
If you had a little
insane.
statue of Frankenstein's monster, you set him on there and roll him back on the table.
I mean, look at that. This is, and he has, like I said, he has one that's a double gear, and the only way I could ever get it to print was with doing PETG on a textured plate that would like super uber stick, because there's so many little islands that it would constantly fail over and over and over again. But
And he just dropped a new, the same time with the little vase, a new phone holder. The new one he just dropped as well this week.
yeah. Oh yeah, and that one has proven to be a little bit of a challenge too, honestly.
With the vertical rails on it, yeah.
Yeah, I tried to print it on the Lulzbot, and it finished. I already threw it in the bin, but it finished. But it didn't look too good, so I threw it away. But I do have one going on the Prusa right now with a PETG, but I don't know. I just find for like the ones with like where it's got lots of little contact points, like PETG just works better because it sticks to the bed so much better than PLA does.
Hey, Ann, how you doing?
I've been using this I bought a 10 kg spool of PETG from IC3D, and I'm still working on the filament spool, which is turning out to be a lot harder than I thought it was going to be. So I have like this thing that I'm building that's a 10 kg spool holder.
Jesus.
And I know it's crazy. And the hardest part is getting the spool, the part that goes through the roll of filament. So in the meantime, what I've been doing is I've been hand spooling, and oh my god, dude, have you ever tried to hand spool off of something like that?
Yeah.
It is.
It's a nightmare.
I've done that many
you
times
have
with
to
with
It's
wire.
like punching yourself in the balls, man. It's the worst.
I've got a
With,
5 kilograms. of
2
ZYLTECH
kilometer,
right
3
now.
kilometer long wire spools, and it's breaking them down to smaller rolls into 1,000 meters. Yeah, fucking annoying as hell on a hand spooler.
Yeah.
The only reason why I won't go 10 kilo spools is because, especially with PETG, they won't go on my filament dryer. So,
Right.
Because PETG is hydroscopic, so you need to keep it dry.
I live in Arizona, though, so it's not as big. It's an issue. You're right, but it's not as big of an issue for me because of where I live. But
It's right there all the time.
all I have to do is I just put it out in the garage for a couple days, and I think inside my garage right now it's like 118 degrees out there.
Wow.
So, and it like 23%.
How's it going, Dan?
Oh shit! I gotta go. Sorry, guys.
That didn't last long. That didn't last long.
What's going on, guys?
Hey,
I gotta build those filament racks you got, dude. That's what I need to do. I need room.
It's nice.
Well, it actually goes all the way down. I'm going to go all the way to the end
I
at
know.
some point, probably.
Are those ones from Joel Telling or no?
No, I don't remember where I found those. I think it was somewhere on Thingiverse. I think.
Yeah.
I know. Some people would prefer I probably say another search engines, but sorry, I use things.
Don't worry.
You're not doing it right, Dan. It needs to be color coded and in sequence for the art.
I gotta go grab some bones.
Yes. I've been trying to get them in color order up there, but the stuff on top though is all the Jesse, just like the regular stuff on the menu, and then this stuff right here is all the monthly box stuff, which my monthly box is still saying out for or supposed to be delivered today, but it still says it's in Missouri, which is like a 3-hour drive, 4-hour drive. So
I had to discontinue my monthly boxes. I wasn't printing enough. I did. I was getting several monthly boxes, and I've got underneath that you can't see down here. I've just got stacks of filaments. What fell over the other day during this live stream was stacks of filament. I'm like, I'm just going to start printing more because I'd rather.
No
start
such thing as too much filament.
I thought that I was.
My name is Chris, and I've got a problem.
But see, I thought I had too much filament at one point, right? Until the Toys for Tots. Now I've eaten most of my backlog.
I didn't know Toys for Tots would take prints.
They do take prints. That's what they're.
Yeah, they've got a list of approved STLs that you can print.
Oh, I'm gonna look. Okay, now I know what to do.
Yeah, I do it through ICPD, and what they do is they actually even provide filament. Now they haven't sent me filament yet, because I was trying to getting ahead and using the surplus I have, which is gone very thin right now because I'm about 12 or 14 spools in right now.
Right.
So but eventually, hopefully in the next couple of weeks they'll be shipping me filament. And I'll just use whatever materials they send me.
It's not done yet. I'm still painting on both of them. I got a lot of detailed work to do.
Put it on big screen, Gary.
Well, it's not done yet. So
what are we looking at? Oh, Doom.
Yeah, Dr. Doom. I sold one on Etsy a while back, and then I went ahead and printed 2 more of them. I have to finish them up. I got more work to do on them.
I keep wondering if they're going to start with Doom when they do Fantastic Four, or if they're going to start with somebody, maybe smaller.
Didn't they say Octopus was back in it?
No, that's Spider-Man.
That's new Spider-Man.
I'm talking about they're working on. They're working on the Fantastic Four films are coming, and so I'm wondering who they're going to go with because Doom's been done. In fact, I actually liked the guy who played Doom in the original Fantastic Four movies.
Yeah.
So,
but I wonder who's going to play. Have they announced who's going to play the other roles?
No, I don't think they've announced anyone that's been cast.
Yeah. Yes, because like in the movie, like Jessica Alba played a fantastic Invisible Woman. So.
Yeah, I liked her in that role.
That movie was pretty good, and I heard it bombed everywhere, but I thought it was pretty good.
Well, a lot of movies do that. Like a lot of movies bomb in the box office, but then later on they become cult classics, and people
even the Silver Surfer one wasn't bad to me.
Yeah. I'll give you an example. The Shawshank Redemption, the movie. Fantastic movie, right?
Movie. Yep.
An amazing movie. It bombed in the cinema. I think it was there for 2 weeks and they took it out again because they didn't succeed. But it's a phenomenal movie. And I think anybody over the age of 18 has probably seen it, if you ask me.
More than once, yeah. More than once.
More than once. I have it on DVD, so.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's just timing too. They'll release a movie and then Avengers 7 will come out at the same time or a day before, and no one will even know your movie was there.
Yeah.
Jerry, you need to screenshot the Brady Bunch now. We've got nine windows up on your screen. That's a nice screenshot.
Once it publishes, once it's over, I'll put everybody up, and that'll be my thumbnail.
Yeah, Jerry's hanging out with the Brady Bunch.
That's it, the Brady Bunch, or the Fantastic Bunch.
I like to call it the Celebrity Squares.
Yeah.
Oh, now if we could turn this into a game show, I'm all for it. Let's do it.
We probably could.
Well, Karen, turn your head to the left a little bit, and you look almost. Yeah, Florence Henderson. I can see it.
Well, I got the hair color for it anyway. Well, to be fair though, at least I've got the hair.
Yeah, that's one thing.
Yeah. Or is that a low blow for certain people on this at the moment?
Not me. I got all of mine.
I'm not Australian though. That's good. I'm not Australian.
Oh, you're not?
Kiwi.
No, I'm a Kiwi.
No.
He's
You sound just like
A
Australian.
long way from home.
Now
he's an
he's
imported
cooking it.
fruit. Yeah.
Yeah.
You sound just like Australian to me. I don't know.
He keeps saying that he's
He's a
not-
bird.
I think he really is an Australian wannabe. Is what he really is.
2 passports is enough. I don't want a 3rd passport. Thank you very much.
Every week
you have
I ask him if
passport.
he's Australian, and every week he corrects me.
Yeah, but
Oh, it'd be like calling Tim an American. Them
also-
fighting words. Them
It's
fighting
like
words.
calling
What's the
me a
difference?
Canadian.
There's
Yeah.
no real difference between New Zealand.
But
and
he's also one of the
There's not.
Irish guys. He's got an
I don't
Irish
know.
passport.
What'd you say?
There's
New
not.
Zealand
There's no
and
difference.
Canada?
Kangaroos and Vegemite, right? All the same stuff.
Absolutely. Don't knock
Same
Vegemite.
thing.
Yeah.
You don't like Vegemite?
It's an acquired taste, Vegemite is.
Vegemite and
Yeah.
white pepper. There you go. Put it on
What
your
is
bread.
what is Vegemite? What is it?
It's
A yeast
disgusting.
extract.
It's not
Yeast drink.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can use
They
it.
put it on toast like butter, Jerry, like peanut butter, and it smells like gym socks.
And here in America, we call it garbage, but they just smear it on toast.
Hey,
Hang
Scott,
on,
hold on.
I'll get the jar. I'll show what it looks like. Hang
Like-
on, give me a second.
Like tangy and
It's
sweet and
Yeah, I would say the best way to eat Vegemite is to put it on toast and then just throw it all in the garbage and just walk.
yeah.
There you go.
Take
That's
take
such a
your
waste
take
of
your
bread.
sweaty sweaty
Wait,
sauce
dog,
and
I
put it
don't agree with you. Why
put it
would
in a
you do
plastic
that?
bag in the fridge. That's what it smells like.
No, why would you throw it and put it on toast and throw it in your trash? Why would you want your trash to smell bad? Come on.
Exactly. Just throw it in your
There we go.
neighbor's trash.
Look, there he's got his Vegemite. Look.
It's a major Australian food group, Vegemite.
Yep. I've never.
Yeah,
If you eat that online, I'm gonna gag. I swear to God.
See,
Don't.
It's
will
a-
it's
do
a
it.
brand new.
Is it
That-
fresh? It's a
that's-
fresh
that's-
jar.
It's,
No, it's not. It's not.
Oh.
It's been used.
Do not eat that. Oh, dude.
It looks like poop.
It looks like baby shit. Oh.
So good. So good, right?
Oh yeah, so good. Oh yeah.
It's making my eyes water. Man. You're making my eyes water. Oh.
Stop the torture. Let's get the torture.
Oh, man.
Oh,
That'll be on my toast
That's
later on
funny.
this morning.
So I had an Australian guy that worked for me one time, and I told him I'd never tried it, and he brought me a thing of it to work. And dude, I couldn't even attempt it. The smell of it is what got me.
Ambrosia.
You know, I don't like Vegemite. I don't like, but Kieran, you know what Bovril is?
Yes. I've
Bovril
had
is
that. Had that.
I like Bovril, but not Vegemite.
That's the one. That's the one, Scott.
Hey, Scott showed up. How you doing, Scott?
Yeah. I mean, for the UK, it's all Marmite, but Marmite's very, very mild compared to Vegemite.
Jerry's taking notes.
No, I wrote down the words so I can Google
Jerry,
it
there's
later.
not going to be a test later. Don't worry about it.
Yeah.
Trying to see if I
Maybe
can.
I should-
Oh, there we go.
I'll ship Jerry over a jar just to try it. That'll be funny.
there you go.
No, don't.
Well, it doesn't go
You'll get
bad. I mean,
arrested.
it is.
Don't
bad.
take anything from Australia.
Starts out
Nothing.
bad.
What was it I got from Canada? Somebody sent me. It was here we call them Smarties. Up there they call them something else. And then I showed him the
Pebbles.
Smarties.
You can have them Pebbles or Smarties, yeah.
Rockets.
Dummies.
That's right. They were something they called rockets. And I said, well, we call those Smarties. Then he showed me a bag of M&Ms. He goes, well, we call these Smarties.
Right. Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
I had someone send me some Smarties for the kids, and they were basically M&Ms.
But
M&M.
look, actually, Smarties taste better though than M&M's.
The Rockets had
You
more
don't
of
think it's chocolate.
Bit of chocolate in them, yeah.
What do I want to say? A fruit taste to them, where the Smarties were more like a sugar taste.
Mm.
So,
Yeah. The
you know.
Smarties, the chocolate from Smarties are from Roundtree, and it's a nicer chocolate than the chocolate in M&M's.
Yeah.
If
That's
I got
awesome.
something in the mail from somebody I didn't know, I'm not going to stick it in my mouth because they might want to get rid of me.
If I sent it to him, he wouldn't stick it in his mouth.
That's not what we've heard, Jerry.
If this turned up in Jerry's mail, he would not be sticking this in his mouth, I wouldn't think.
Yeah, I can have that on one finger and a diaper in another hand. Go, no.
There you go.
Hey, Scott,
We have to
you don't.
hide it in the German chocolate cake for you.
Scott just mentioned he might be working on a new release, and so I'm sitting there going, he doesn't need to do that, because if he does a new release, people expect me to release new firmware, and I don't need that in my life right now.
Yeah, no, but we need that. We need you to do that in our lives,
Ugh.
Chris. So, you know.
Yeah, I think that there's...
Release away, Scott.
I think that there's a new job there just waiting on me. Just making firmware releases, just binary.
a job that don't pay anything.
You've only got, what, 6 or 7 boards to test it on, so, I mean, what are you complaining about?
Well,
yeah, that's no big deal.
A lot more boards than that.
I just need to buy 6 or 7, Ender 5 Pluses, and I'll be fine.
Hey, Chris,
So
I got a question.
What do you have, 3 now? 2 or 3?
I've got 2 Ender 5 Pluses right now.
2 of them.
I've got an Ender 6.
Chris, whatever happened to your printer with the lead screws? Do you ever mess with that anymore or no?
It is the only printer. So I don't know if you know the history of my channel. I started the channel in my dining room, and
that was early on.
That was super early on, and I did my best to save my family and get out of there as soon as possible. Plus, filming was really inconvenient when people, So I moved to the garage, and that is the only printer that's still in the dining room.
Oh, actually, they weren't lead screws, right? They were ball screws, right?
It's got 1 ball screw just for the Y-axis, because the Y-axis is 400, or the Y bed's 400 by 600.
And at the time, that was huge. Remember? So now, it's like it seems pretty common, but
now it's not that big of a deal. But it's I actually have been working on it every now and then, and trying to get it working. I think the main problem is I need to upgrade the board, which I obviously have plenty of now. But I'm trying to get out from under printers at this point. Stop doing so many reviews, because I've learned that the reviews are a trap.
They are.
You should do some lasers.
I actually have lasers. I did a live stream with the laser. The which one was that?
The LM2, wasn't it?
The R2.
Yeah, I was on there with you. I was the one that was giving you all the myself and Gil were the guys who were giving you pointers.
Yes, and that I love that machine, but I've got to get it set up somewhere in my garage where it's there for me.
Yeah, I have a K40, and I just built this one a few weeks ago, but I got a different laser coming for it. That Amazon failed to deliver, so
I would like to have one. I'd like to have one that would cut through stuff, though, because you guys aren't cutting through things, right? You're just
but you have to get a CO2.
Well, no, you can cut 3mm ply with a 5-watt output laser.
Yes, you can with if you're just doing one wood.
Yeah. Now, if you want to do acrylics and so on cleanly, you want to go with a CO2.
What if you want to cut like acrylic or something?
Yeah, a K40. You can get a K40 to do that.
I don't even remember what I bought. It's still in the box.
Yeah.
What did I buy?
K40. It was a K40, Jason.
I bought the K40. Okay, it's still in the garage in the box.
Yeah.
But if you're doing acrylic, I mean,
my V core is still in the box too.
Oh gosh.
The
you can always build a CNC to do acrylic.
See you guys.
All
I'll
you're
be right
doing is
back.
cuts.
Yeah.
okay.
Cheers.
Yeah. So the K40 will cut acrylics. The K40 will do 5mm ply. The K40 will do really good engraving on wood and leather and all these other materials, and even glass. If you know how to go about it, there's a process involved, but you do glass.
You basically got to have it in the garage, though, right? Because you can't.
Well, no, I don't. Mine's in my basement, but you need to have an extraction system because it creates fumes.
Yeah.
And vaporized powder wouldn't be very nice either for some of your surfaces.
We're live on my Facebook group, Facebook page, and YouTube, but there's nobody on Facebook watching right now.
Yeah.
But at least we post them there, so we get a lot more exposure.
I used to, I started printing with a lot of polycarbonate in an enclosure, and it's not vented, right? So it's just a sealed enclosure. And I was surprised. Yesterday I took the Prusa out and I started doing some maintenance to it, and I couldn't believe the whole inside of it's covered in this white, like residue inside the
kind of
whatever's in the the heat that comes off of it, I guess, is the VOCs are. Yeah. I mean, and I can see everywhere there's a leak in my box because there's white residue sticking out. Basically, it looks like somebody blew smoke through it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I love printing with polycarbonate, and that's actually one of the benefits of being in the garage, though, is that if I want to vent the garage, I can just open up the whole garage, and I also have a air filtration system I put in just for circulating that stuff out.
I'll tell you, the Prusament polycarbonate, carbon fiber polycarbonate is the best filament period that I've ever printed with, where it looks like a injection molded. I mean, it is so perfect looking when it's done. It's crazy. I mean, this is a Vinci.
I'm going to order a roll of it. I wrote that down last week. I took notes when you mentioned that. I wrote that.
That's matte, isn't it? Yeah, it's got a matte sheen to it. Yeah, so.
Yeah, but I mean, you can see the belt mark there, but that's not the filament.
That's the whole line. That's the whole line. That's normal. That's the normal Vinci line.
Water line in the whole, yeah.
My favorite that I print with is just the Polymaker.
But look at that finish on that. It's crazy.
Nice, yeah.
It comes out,
There's no layer lines at all on that.
None, zero.
No, it always comes out like that. But I've read that it's not as strong. The PCCF isn't as strong as like a PC.
I'll tell you
the way that they've got the fibers in it.
Well, and I'll tell you, there's like
but it is lighter. You will save a lot of weight.
So exactly what Chris just said. It is. If you print this in regular polycarbonate side by side, it weighs like a quarter of the weight. It's super, super light.
Yeah.
And if you don't put enough infill into it, it will snap super easy for sure.
Yeah.
But I printed a whole set of printer parts out of this, and so far it's been working great. But you have to have really hot. You have to print at like 290, 295 degrees because otherwise the layers won't stick together real well. But I just the finish on it for my Etsy stuff that I'm selling. Like I'm selling a utility AirTag case, and when I started printing with this, it's like people think that they're injection molded. Basically, that's what they look like. So
a little bit like SLS.
So what you're saying though, there, Stephen, is that if we can get like 100 people watching the stream tonight, you'll take it out and run over with the Tesla, right?
I wonder if it would crack under the Tesla. Actually,
well, set up your camera that way you can make a video about it, and then we'd love.
My tires are $500 a piece, so I'd have to get about $500 just in case it popped a tire. So
I'm sure.
Are you telling me you don't get the tire warranty? You definitely need the tire warranty.
Dude, the tires for that car are they're Michelin Pilot 4S Z-rated tires. They're like $400. They're a little over $400 a piece. And a couple weeks ago I got a flat. A couple weeks ago I got a flat, and I decided to go put a lesser performance tire on it. And I'm telling you, you can instantaneously feel it and how it drives. It drives totally different. And so I had to go put another Michelin tire on it. Then they only last for about 20,000 miles, and then you got to put new tires on it. So
although these days with ever since the pandemic and me working at home and everything, I don't put 20,000 miles on my truck in a year. I don't. I'm putting
on my Tesla. I put 45,000 miles on it in the first year.
Wow! No, I have a Ram 1500.
Hey, Victor.
2 years old. I haven't even reached. I've only done 6,000 miles on it.
On what car?
A Ram 1500.
Yeah.
Oh, Ram. Yeah.
Like I said, I hardly drive my car anymore.
Yeah, 6,000 miles in 2 years.
When you think about the cost, though, like the tires are the biggest pain in the ass on a Tesla. You don't have to do brakes, oil changes, all that stuff, but the tires have been really problematic for me since the very beginning of getting that car. Every time a tire. Trying to find tires is very hard, and trying to find the wheels is impossible. So,
who do you have do them typically? Who puts them on for you?
What's that?
Who puts on your tires for you typically?
So typically, I would call Tesla, and they would come out and do it. They've done it one time. The last time they didn't have anybody available, so they wanted to tow it about 50 miles away to go get the tire replaced. And then they wanted me to Uber. They wanted me to Uber to them to come get the car, and I flipped out on them. But when I was in Oregon and it broke down, I hit a piece of debris in the road, and it just basically broke the rim and the lower control arm. They towed that 360 miles back to Portland, or 260 miles back to Portland. It was a $2,000 tow bill, all because they didn't have the parts, and it took about 6 weeks to get the parts.
A lot of cars that sit real low to the ground, you can feel every bump in the road like a Corvette. Is that car like that or no?
No, I'll tell you, it's like a 4-door grocery getter that eats Corvettes for lunch and shits Hellcats, basically.
I seen a picture on Twitter a while back where a lady pulls into a gas station. She's walking around the car, trying to figure out where to fill it up at.
I do that all the time. I park next to the gas pump all the time if there's not a parking spot. And I've had so many people going, "Hey man, what the hell, dude?" I go, "Oh, it doesn't take gas? Oh, I didn't know that. My bad."
I'm new to this Tesla thing.
Yeah. If you run the battery down and you got to go to a charging station, how long do you have to sit there to charge it up before you get back on the highway?
Well, so like when I went to Indiana, where I saw, well, I think only Dan here, but when I went to Indiana, we got about 270 miles, 260 miles per charge. So we pull into a charging station like in Oklahoma or something, and the way the car routes you is it basically figures out how much you need to charge to spend as least amount of time on the road on the charger as possible. Yeah. So a lot of times you'll pull into a charger and it'll say charge for 5 minutes, or charge for 15 minutes, or charge for 20 minutes. It's basically just getting you to the next gas station. So on the way from here to Indiana, I think it's 2,000. It's like 19, or no, it's 3,000 miles. 3,000 miles. And I think we stopped 6 times on the way. I think it's 6 times between here and there to charge. And on average, the average charge time was 28 minutes.
That's with the Tesla high-speed chargers.
Yeah, and that's with the 450 kilowatt hour charging. I mean, and you think, I always tell people I pull in and I charge. First of all, I'm 40 something. I don't like driving more than 250 miles anyways without stopping. I just feel like I need to get out and stretch my legs. But you go in, you go to the bathroom, you get a soda, you come back out, and it's done. I mean, that's basically it.
I seen a Chevy or somebody advertising on TV about a month ago talking about you have to charge a vehicle overnight. And I'm thinking, well, if you go on a trip and you got to pull in somewhere, you can't sit there overnight waiting.
That's where Tesla's got everybody beat, is like, nobody has the network that Tesla has. The charging network is the key. When you look at a Tesla, it's basically like a Volkswagen Jetta quality. When you look at like panel gaps and interior quality, it's like having Kias have nicer interior than a Tesla. The only advantage to it is their charging network. Their charging network is what makes Teslas really cool, is that you can go anywhere in the country, and you don't have to use a drop of gas. I mean, it's really what makes the car super special, in my opinion. That and they're fast. I mean, the performance of the car is unreal. The technology is unreal. But the charging network is so key to. If they didn't have that charging network, nobody would be buying Teslas, basically. I don't think.
Ramping up. They're going to ramp up the amount of charging stations out there. They've already have.
Yeah, and I hear that Volkswagen has a charging network they're using called the Chatamo network that was already existing, but now they're expanding that network. And it's stupid because Elon Musk actually open sourced all the superchargers to all the other car companies, and because of competitive reasons. Chevy doesn't want to have a Tesla charger on their car. So they don't want to have to use a Tesla, plug. But he basically said, if you want to put Tesla plugs on the Ford, Chevy, Volkswagen, whatever, you can use our network. And so far, nobody's taken him up on it.
But eventually, when everybody's driving an electric car, there's going to have to be some kind of a universal setup where everybody has something, I don't know.
You would think. Or there's going to be individual gas stations, essentially. Like, imagine if you could only go to Chevron gas stations. That's what it's going to be like.
Yeah.
Or fill your boot up with adapter cables.
That's what I was thinking was the adapter cable. Everyone shows up with their adapter.
Right.
But that's ridiculous. I mean, what's the point?
Or they may just have it built in. You may just have the gas station that has the charging station with 3 different cables coming out of it.
Well, they do now. You get your high speed or your standard speed charger and just have the adapter to cross over. That's basically.
Well, what Tesla's working on right now, and they've been working on it for the last couple of years, and I believe this is going to be the future, is wireless charging, where you can actually just drive over the top of.
Yeah, that's what it's going to be for sure.
Yeah.
And then when that becomes standard, it'll be like a Qi charger for your car, right?
Yeah, it'll be inductive charging. It's like you do
inductive charging. Yeah, exactly.
Then you just build it into the roads, and then all the cars drive electric cars and never have to stop.
That could happen.
They've tested that.
It'll make for great police chases.
They've tested
turn the power off.
Actually, they've tested that in parts of Germany, I believe. They actually put induction charging on the roads for.
I've heard of that.
And it actually works, and it works really well.
Yeah.
Some of the trams are running on it. Yeah.
Yeah, but
trains run on that. Sure.
And all it does is the truck goes over, and there's a little platform underneath the truck. under the bed that drops down, and that's your inductive charger, and that actually provides power. So when you're going from areas with and without, you can actually raise or lower the platform. And
depending on how the car is geared.
The problem is when you're taking when you're talking like at a supercharger, they can dump. Now it's a DC charger that dumps 450 volts. I think it's 450 volts. No. It's 450 kilowatts chargers. I mean, it is dumping just shitloads of power into it. It's super.
It really gets warm, yeah.
It's super efficient, but it has a lot of downsides. Like it gets super hot, and they Teslas are always struggling to manage the temperature of the battery. It'll be interesting to see what the future holds. That's for sure. So.
Yeah, I've seen Teslas catch on fire.
I was waving at Viking.
Oh, okay. Hey, Viking, how you doing?
Hey, Thomas.
Yeah. I didn't want to interrupt, so I was just waving like an idiot, just get Viking's attention to let him know that I see him. Like, hey.
No, he's waving like Dan, not waving like an idiot.
No, yeah, sorry. I'm waving like myself.
We love you, Dan. That's why we give you a hard time.
Oh yeah. I was gonna say I was enjoying the conversations about the whole Tesla chat and the charging and whatnot. So I had to share my link on their mobile. Their mobile charging solution.
A lot of filament there.
I'm cleaning up while we're talking. Might as well be doing something. So this is me straightening out so I don't die under a pile of filament later. Hey, I did have a question for you. See if anyone has used this brand of filament, because someone gave me this. I had a friend locally who bought this filament, and it's a gorgeous looking filament. The filament, the wind on it and everything looks like they really care about it, but it prints like garbage. I can't get it to print. It is called Spider Maker.
Oh, you know
isn't
what?
That the stuff that I was gonna say? Isn't that the
Joel
stuff
loves
that? Yeah, I was saying
Joel thinks that stuff's the best in the world, man.
So I'm starting to want. Maybe it's just, I don't know. Both of us have tried to print with it, so maybe it's just the spool that we've got.
You know what's funny about that guy is Spider Maker actually reached out to me on Twitter because I accidentally tagged them in one of my prints. And they read me the riot act because I didn't use their filament, and he said I'd appreciate it if you wouldn't tag me and stuff that it's not relevant to us. It's confusing to our customer. I'm like, dude, really? Like, if I was ever going to buy that filament, I'm never going to buy it now. Like
that's bizarre.
Yeah, but I remember Joel had Spider Maker, and he spoke very highly of it.
Okay, yeah, because I've got this one spool, and I tried to print with it once. He tried to print with it, and it's just gunky. I don't know what's going on.
What do you mean, like gunky? Like how?
Like you try to print with it, it just gunks up your hot end, and I don't know. Like, I mean, all the settings and everything are on it. It's PLA. It's coal black. Like I said, it looks nice.
Maybe it's mislabeled.
There's an option.
I don't know.
Does it feel like PLA or is it softer than PLA?
It feels softer than normal PLA.
It might be PETG, and that's why it's gunking up and you're not running hot enough.
Yeah,
I don't think so. I know what PETG feels like. This is different. This is like, I mean, because PLA comes in different hardnesses. You can have soft PLA and you can have like good crispy
PLA. PLA Pro, quite hard.
And this just feels like that soft PLA. Like your print's done, but it's just not quite cured, for lack of a better word. But I've still not been able to print with this. I'm wondering if it's just a bad roll. Because again, he showed me, he bought it off of Amazon. He showed me the reviews were good and everything. But yeah, I'm going to try again because I feel like I'm missing something.
Has anyone ever tried this filament?
ICU? No.
That looks like an Amazon brand.
That looks like a Chinese brand.
You can. It is Chinese, but they're all Chinese. Let's say
pretty much.
Right?
Well, the stuff I buy is not Chinese.
There's only a handful of American brands.
Yeah, and I got a couple of spools in different colors, beautiful colors. Like I like these purples and reds.
Oh,
nice. It's very strawberry, isn't it?
And there's a bronze.
But they what, half kilo rolls?
These are half kilos. This is a 1 kilo.
Did you say one of them was labeled as a kilo and it's a half?
Yeah, all of their half kilos are, if you look at them, are labeled as 1 kilogram, but they're actually half spools.
Wow.
Using the same, but the spool's not even the same size. So
it's obviously Like the difference is, there's no way it's
No.
1 kilo.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah, no.
But the colors are beautiful, so I'm gonna figure out. They only arrived in yesterday, so they look like they're gonna be. It'll be nice to get some nice color prints out of it if the quality is any good.
Talking about American brand, I mean, this is the only PETG I print with on purpose is the Green Gate.
Mm-hmm.
Green Gate's good.
Green
I
Gate's
use
good.
IC3D.
Use IC3Ds.
That's my main PETG. I buy it in the 2.5.
The only problem with recycled PETG is you lose some of the temperature resistance that a lot of people use PETG for in the first place. So I mean, it almost prints at PLA temperatures, right?
Yeah.
Speaking of ZYLTECH, here's a banner at the bottom. They're going back to 5% off next month for your discount. So if anybody wants a great deal, you can still get 15% off using my code or somebody else's code.
I just had ZYLTECH. I just had ZYLTECH cut all these extrusions for me. I've never done that before, and man, they did a good job, man, and fast, super fast.
I like ZYLTECH. I mean, it's one of the cheaper brands I go with when I just need some everyday, filament.
That's where this
Their
came from.
filament's actually pretty good.
But it's not bad. It's not bad at all.
Yeah,
ZYLTECH extrusion there.
I honestly, just about the only place I buy like extrusion stuff from is ZYLTECH.
Yeah.
Like I've got, I will stock up from ZYLTECH because they have the best prices on extrusion that I can find, that ships locally.
As a newbie, I've never had extrusions cut, and I was trying to make this spool holder, and so I sent all the measurement. I didn't understand that you went on there, and what you're paying for is the
cuts.
It said cut extrusion, so you put all the sizes in, and my whole bill was like $9. I was like, wow, that is so much cheaper than I thought. And then 2 days later, they emailed me and they're like, hey, you got to buy the stick of extrusion.
You paid for them cutting thin air.
Right. And the way they have it set up though is kind of goofy though, because there's no indication in saying, hey, don't forget to buy extrusion or whatever. So I didn't know. I thought, wow, extrusions are really cheap, man.
But like I said, at the prices that they charge, it's really inexpensive extrusion.
But all they use is a chop saw anyway to cut it. So you can just turn around and buy the length and with a cross.
Yeah, they got miles and miles of extrusion. They got a whole area. It's just nothing but extrusion.
Oh yeah, they have warehouse of it.
In my laser that I built.
Yeah, but you can order extrusion and it's not cut well. It's their precision cuts just suck.
They're a lot
clean.
It's cheaper to buy from them than Amazon.
I did that from a metal company once, the company that basically all they do is metal extrusions. And when I got them, I'm like, I wish I would have cut them myself. It was a complete waste of money because I was selling something that I was producing. And I'm not going to put that product out there with those cuts. And so I had to go with my own chop saw and clean it up.
Yeah.
And it was because I was ordering a ton of it. I was ordering several $100s worth of extrusions because of what I was building. And then I ended up having to clean it up myself. And
I don't think the ZYLTECH is super clean. It had some burrs on it, and there was a lot of metal shavings.
As long as all I have to do is file it, we're fine.
Yeah.
Wipe it down, get the shavings out.
I can cut aluminum extrusion on my chop saw or my miter saw. So I've got a good blade on it. You can use a band saw, but you'll go through blades. But it'll be a really fine cut. But a band saw is basically a hacksaw with an oval blade on it.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I've got anything really.
I've got my chop saw, and I did buy a non-ferrous metal saw blade, and it does. To me, that's a lot safer than using a wood blade.
No, it cuts a better finish. It doesn't grab it as much.
If you don't want to lose an eye.
Yeah.
Hey, there she is. Betty Boop, what's going on? My wife,
Betty.
Randy.
Hey, Betty.
Hey, Betty. As long as you got a fine-toothed blade, you should be good, right?
Yes.
The
fine tooth is the main thing. Yeah.
Well, those handheld bandsaw blades, if you cut too fast, the blade will actually,
fuse
out
it'll melt.
A couple degrees, yeah.
I forget which filaments I even have, and I'm going through it, and I'm like, oh, I forgot I bought that. I've never even printed with it.
I had a bunch of ZYLTECH that was unlabeled, and I had to look at all my spools, find one with a label, and say, oh, I recognize that style on the spool. That's ZYLTECH. It wasn't marked. They forgot to put a sticker on some of it.
Yeah, I'm sitting here with with like I had a project in mind, just like all half of my projects where I had an idea, and so I start ordering parts for it, and then I never did it, and I've got like a spool of iron filament that actually has iron in it.
I have the same thing.
And I've never even cracked it open because the project didn't.
I have so many rolls of filament that I bought for a special something that I never use. It's my filament is out of control.
This is nice stuff, and it even has a cardboard spool. So,
and then
I try to spend like $200-$300 every other week on filament usually, and I end up with a lot of filament. But
there is no try.
Wire feed welder spools. Because Dave got a great deal on blank spools for wire feed welders. That's why they're so heavy duty.
You know what's nice is the new polyalchemy spools. Those are really, really nice. I don't know if you guys have seen those.
Ones.
That's
no. The polyalchemy is like, I don't know if I have one.
Hold on, I've got them. It's right here. Hold on.
Yeah, they're and I don't know if Dave bought them.
These are their Polyterra spools.
Yeah.
Oh, Polyterra. I'm in polyalchemy.
Oh, okay. Yeah, the Polyterra spools are all these fully cardboard recyclable spools.
Well, these are polyalchemy spools here.
Oh, okay. Different poly. Too many polys.
Yeah.
Exactly. Polyacrylamide. Get your polys in a line.
Here we go. Let's see if I can make them slightly bigger.
There we go.
Okay.
Is that plastic?
That's different.
Yeah, it is. But it's got a cardboard. It's like the Prusament where it's got the cardboard insert in there.
Okay.
But what's cool about, I don't know if Dave talked them into this or what, but because forever polyalchemy always shipped like what 750 or 500 gram spools, and now they're 1,000-gram spools. I mean, polyalchemy used to be really expensive, like $30 for a 750 roll, and now it's 24 for a kilo. So, I mean, really affordable.
Competitive out there, you know. If you're going to be charging really high prices per kilo, a lot of people won't buy it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just think polyalchemy and their I don't know if it's printed solids influence or what, but their prices are just so much better than they used to be. And that is really nice filament.
Well, before the pandemic, everything that was $15 went to $20, along with every other product on the planet, and nothing has went back down yet.
Yeah.
And it won't go back down.
No, just like gas. Once you get used to paying it, they're just going to keep taking your money.
That reminds me of like pizza delivery. Back before gas prices went nuts, you used to get free pizza delivery besides the tip. And then they put the little delivery fee on there, and it's never gone away again.
Yeah.
And you know that, and you're used to paying it, and it doesn't even go to the driver.
No, absolutely not.
Yeah.
It's like,
yeah, you just got to get them used to paying it one time, right?
Yep. And then, and of course they'll have a good reason at the time. And you go, okay, I get it. I understand. Gas is more. I got to pay for it. But then it just never goes away.
Yep.
I think the worst markup I've ever seen is my gloves I buy for my resin printers. I'd go to Harbor Freight, pay $5.99 for a huge box.
Mm-hmm.
Now and then the last time I checked, they were $20, and you get half as many.
I stopped doing disposable gloves, and I went to the heavy duty, rubber gloves, and I cleaned these, and I stopped doing the disposables. I hate throwing away the rubber gloves, and
so you just dip your hands in alcohol and those, wipe them off, soap and water.
That's exactly what I do. So I've got the vat that I wash the prints in, and after I'm done, I just dip my fingertips in it and grab a towel.
Where'd you buy those? Was it just what kind of chemical gloves?
These are Amazon. Yeah, I bought heavy duty gloves, and these are, like I said, I pay for the thick ones so that they'll last. And now I don't throw them away anymore.
Well, maybe I should do that because I go through a lot of gloves. Every print is like 3 pairs of gloves.
Yeah, so I quit doing that. I said I will keep towels around, and I will keep the cleaning solution around so I can dip my hands in it, and it saves me a lot of money, and it saves a lot of waste.
And then when I don't wear gloves and I'm filming it, somebody in comments will say, "You don't have your gloves on."
And, yeah. Don't you dare do that.
When I don't have my gloves on, I got to be careful when I'm filming with my cell phone that I don't catch my hand in a picture.
Yeah, you could not even be touching the resin, but since you were talking about resin, you really should be wearing gloves the whole time because you never know.
Gloves and an apron and glasses.
I don't
always
a hazmat suit and
hazmat. I've almost done that. Like gone to the store, bought like a paint suit and everything.
Like the Tyvek suit.
Yeah, just something.
Jerry's got the suit. Jerry's got the suit.
I'm here to work on my resin products. You know.
Well, I got
come in with your Walkman on, like Back to the Future.
Thank you very much.
In the suit.
Appreciate that.
Jerry, we didn't hear it.
Yeah, what's up with the lack of...
That's why I got a pipe down here, but try again.
There we go.
It's your microphone's picking that up. It's not playing through the feed.
Yeah, I know. When I have it playing through the stream, which I used to have it, then I can't hear the sounds at all. So I have to figure out how I can hear it and the stream can hear it. So I got to reconfigure my Elgato mic. But thank you very much, Dan.
Yeah, that's one of the things that I like using StreamYard, but I don't think I have found a good way to use it with OBS. I know you can do it. I've just never taken the time. And so that's why I don't use StreamYard most of the time.
For live streams, when I'm doing Hangout, StreamYard is great. But if it's just me or whatever on camera, I prefer OBS.
And that's what I
use. Stream straight to YouTube.
I've got OBS virtual camera running in the background. That way I can switch scenes here.
Yeah, I like my little Stream Deck here. That was one of those things I was like, oh, I'll never need that. I'll never get to the point where I'll be streaming enough to need a Stream Deck. Now that I have it, it's like this is the best purchase ever.
Yeah, I even use Stream Deck for my my work meetings, because for Teams and all these other streamings and apps, there are shortcuts on the Stream Deck, and you can actually control. You can unmute your phone, your microphone, and you can enable and disable your video and all this other stuff. You can share your screen all through it. Yep. So I use my Stream Deck for everything.
Yeah. This is like one of the first streams I've done where I'm actually using a boom mic instead of using my wireless mic because I didn't charge it after the last one.
Yeah, Gregory, it's always something. I usually get a couple thumbs down every time I post anything.
Oh, I do too. I think that there are 3 people that no matter what I post, they just take the time to go over and hit the thumbs down. And of course, they don't realize that to YouTube, it doesn't matter.
No.
They don't care. You come over, hit the thumbs down.
Just interaction is all they care about.
It doesn't matter at all. You clicked on my video, I got a view from it, and then you click the down arrow.
I bought this Elgato mic, Dominic, because it comes with some really cool software. I just have to get it configured right from Elgato. And it has a mic and it has a mixer and all that built into it. I just have to get it configured properly.
Anyone have a favorite wood filament? While I'm going through my wood filament here.
I used to use Tyance a long time ago. I think I have some, I don't know. I got a couple of them. I don't ever use it, but I have a couple.
I think the Polyalchemy wood filament's pretty good. Their FX, it's like $24.99 for a kilo. It's pretty good too.
I've got the Color Fab here.
Color Fab's really good, actually.
Color Fab was what I printed this guy out of.
Yeah, Color Fab's really good. It's just so expensive.
Yeah, I mean, this is like 1/2 scale or something.
That's really cool, actually.
Well, it was an experiment. So I printed it because I wanted to know could I make it seamless? Because I wanted to just stain the handle. So this is just stained. There's no paint on this.
Was that printed in one piece?
No, that's what I wanted to check out. So there's a seam here, and then there's some seams up around the head to put it all together.
I can see the one in the middle from here.
And that was the problem. So again, this was just an experiment because I was curious. Can you do wood filler? Can you do anything to get rid of the seams if I just wanted to sand it?
I think it looks great. It looks great, Chris. I can't see any seam. So even though Jerry said it looked like shit, I think it looks great.
No, I didn't say that. No, I can see the seam in the middle. It looks good.
And stainable wood fill works great.
This is stainable. It's fantastic.
That thing is super cool.
Stainable wood fill works great. I use it on PLA. I mean, I don't always stain it, but it's just what I have, and
to me, this would be
easy to sand, and it's good.
That thing looks real. I mean,
yeah. Well, see, that's what I love. This is also not painted. This is the filament 1.
Oh, Glint Gray.
Glint Gray.
Yeah.
So it's got that little bit of sheen to it.
It looks legit. It looks real.
And that's what I was going for. But since
Very nice.
I did, by the way, I did try the wood filler, the stainable wood filler.
So how many parts is that? How many parts is the handle on it?
1 part,
3
2 parts, and then 2 more
You
parts.
can see that seam. Yeah.
This one's very visible.
Yeah.
But like I said, it was an experiment. It was for fun. And like I said, if you wanted one that you could, crack skulls with, this is the size you'd want it.
Yeah.
And
I think it looks great.
I love it. That's why I keep it here in the background.
When you went to remove that print earlier, you should have grabbed that axe right there. And
my Mac is only 720p, so is what it is. I can't see no seams.
I'm gonna switch it around and confuse everybody.
Yeah, I think you're more like the blue cheese, Kieran. Not the
like I
fine
said,
wine.
Matured well, not well matured. There's a big difference.
Has anyone tried the ZYLTECH wood PLA? Because I've got a whole spool here I haven't used yet.
no, I haven't.
The only
With it in a couple of years. The last time I printed anything was a Groot.
Yeah, everyone's got their one wood Groot, and then went, no, that's enough wood filament for me. I'm
I
good.
went through a 0.4 brass nozzle, didn't have any clogging issues, but of course, if you move to the next filament, you got to flush it really good to get it all out.
I buy this stuff, the cheapest shit you can find on Amazon.com. I don't know what brand it is, but it was like $22, and this stuff actually prints really good. I bought like 4 rolls of this like 2 years ago, and it just I don't know. I never have. It doesn't clog. It doesn't string real bad.
It looks like ZYLTECH. The design of that spool looks like ZYLTECH.
Yeah, it does look like ZYLTECH.
It's hit or miss.
Yeah. Well, and that's the thing with the wood, right? There's no regulation on how big the particles are. So,
right.
I mean,
I found that using a 0.5 or a 0.6 is usually a lot safer. Like you can try a 0.4 and it might work, but I don't want to clean out a clogged print, so I just go ahead and at least try.
What's that brand? What's the brand that's on Amazon? That's the cheap brand that everybody buys.
Amazon.
I bought their wood filament.
Oh no, that other brand.
Overture.
Overture.
Yeah, like Overture, but not Overture either. But yeah, the same thing. But I bought their wood filament. It's pretty good too.
My sister got some Amazon Basics at Goodwill for me and printed fine.
That was someone that printed with it that one time and went, no, that was enough.
Yeah.
Or they died.
Oh,
And one time, that
bring it
band
down.
Bring it down. We just brought the whole stream way down. You're printing some dead guy's filament, Jerry.
Dead
Jesus
guy's
Christ.
filament. I love it. And I was cleaning up, and I finally found that BIQ filament I was looking for.
BIQ.
This is some of the best stuff I've printed with lately. The stuff I'm giving away on that live stream.
Nice
I
color.
love it. The color's
I
great.
had a girlfriend that was BIQ one time.
Oh. I don't know. That may have been. Never mind. I'm just.
Never mind. I don't want to talk about it no more.
We're live here. This isn't.
Hey, you might be right, Chris. I don't know. I'm not exactly sure how you're supposed to say it. It might be BIQ or BQ. I don't know.
I don't either. And I think Brian Vines, I think, pronounces it as third way.
Chris, where are you at in the country? What part of the country are you?
I'm north of Atlanta.
So like okay, yeah.
Northern suburb.
Millimeter.
But so is Tim. That doesn't really qualify.
Millimeter.
Millimeter. MILLA.
Millimeter.
Or yeah, something like that.
MILL. Mill.
Mill.
No, and that's not how he pronounced it, though.
Oh well.
He said as long as I kept super chatting him, he'd say it any way I wanted him to.
A lot of people call it Airy 1 filament. I've always called it Airy On. I talked to a rep a few years ago, and I tried to in chat. It was hard to get him to do it, to phonetically spell it, how it sounds. So I was trying to type out how it sounds with a big gap, and I finally got him to type back. So it's Airy On, not Airy 1.
It's not Airy. Oh, really? I've always called it Airy 1 too.
No,
Airy On, not Airy 1. Airy On.
Where do they come up with these freaking names, man? Honestly.
Andrew is saying it's BQ, which is probably accurate given the fact that it's Chinese. It probably is BQ.
Andrew should have
what I've heard.
BEQ instead of BIQ, so I'm reading BIQ. If he wanted to say BQ, it should have been BE space Q.
Well, if you're reading it phonetically, like you said, it's BIQ, right?
Yeah, but you're probably right.
Well, it depends on where you're from, right?
Yeah,
so if you shop at Bilo, it's probably BIQ. If you're
right.
There's some people in America that you can't even understand.
Yeah, Bilo, you don't say Bilo, right?
Right.
Yeah, but like as I said, like an I is an E sound in Germany.
I say 3D ZYLTECH. I don't say
Is it-
ZYLTECH.
Is it is it Prusa or is it Prussia?
Yes.
Right.
How about let's talk about, I don't know if you guys have done this before I got here.
Go and ask him.
Let's talk about the new snail printer that has been going around on Twitter.
The what printer?
The Snaily.
Oh, the Snaily. Yeah, dude.
The
Come
Snaily
on.
printer. Like,
Come on.
I mean,
why did they name it that?
First of all, my
so
wife
small.
heard it and gave me a wonderful face, which I think comes from the fact of, number one, why would you, like, who wants that vision of their printer? And number two, you literally said, this is the slowest printer on the market. That's
Chris, but isn't this true? And this is the problem with Chinese companies. They don't take any input from Westerners. So, like, you could pay a college kid minimum wage to proofread your instruction manual, right? It would cost you $30.
Yeah.
And they would send you back an instruction manual that makes complete sense to everybody. But it's like they don't want to put the effort in. And like Snaily, like SpongeBob or what? I mean,
I had to wonder. I mean, I was just wondering, like, I understand some things get lost in translation or some things are a little off on translation. Yes. But what vision were you trying to portray when you said Snaily?
Slow.
It's a slow copy of a
slow
and sticky print.
Messy.
and I tell you what, Kaiwu did send me a printer. I've got one sitting. I can see it right in front of me now, and I'm looking forward to actually trying out the Kaiwu.
They're actually pretty good printers, actually.
It looks like a very nice printer, and also my interaction with the company was very, very good.
Yeah,
right.
They were more interested in my opinion of the printer than they even were like when I got the review out or when I.
That's what they seem to be.
Yeah.
Hey man,
who's doing the Snaily? Who is it? Is it Kaiwu?
No, Kaiwu. No, this is a knockoff of the Kaiwu.
It's 2 trees.
Oh yeah, but who's the manufacturer? I forget.
Two trees.
2 trees Snaily. Yeah.
Well, Hero rebranded to Homer. Why not rebrand to Goober? I mean, Homer, Goober.
It was just a weird choice.
Chris, I have a question.
I'm gonna get a Snaily. I'm gonna name it Gary.
Hey, Mike,
after
You
SpongeBob.
wouldn't happen to be looking at their IDEX, would you?
Hi, Snaily.
Which IDEX are we talking about?
The Kaiwu IDEX.
Oh, I don't have the Kaiwu IDEX.
They just announced it there last week.
Okay.
Which Kaiwu do you have,
Or
Chris?
this week.
This is the Kaiwu Tycoon Max.
Or the Max.
I've got the
Okay.
Tycoon.
Oh, it's a big. It's like the 300 by 300 Typhoon.
Like
Yeah.
3 by
265 or
400,
something.
I think it is.
Those are good printers. I mean, Tripod has one. He loves it.
I have the Max. They sent me a customer return, but I do have the Max. It's like 300 by 300 by 265, I think it is.
Yeah, and I've been wanting to try out a printer that looks like that before. You know, I've never had the opportunity, so I think it's gonna be a fun one to play with. I'm going, it'll be a live stream. It'll be in a couple of weeks.
I have one right here that looks like a Kaiwu. The Wolfsbot. That's the. I mean, it's clearly that's what they're going for, right? They're trying to copy that frame design of the.
It's definitely aesthetically the same, but I've been told that like functionally it's not the same printer.
You need to see their
because they have the Kaiwu is all on linear rails, which frankly this printer would be much better if it was on linear rails because the way one of the flaws I think in this printer is that they have V wheels everywhere, but they don't have a way to adjust them. So
yeah, that's wrong.
Yeah. Now, according to them, they
you mean there's no hold on there's no eccentric nuts on it?
How you doing?
There's no eccentric nuts on it. No. So like if you look at this, like this is the Z carriage here. There's no eccentric nuts on it at all.
So
and basically, what do
you do over time? Because wheels wear out.
I'm going to tell you. So what their engineer told me was because when my first printer I got from them, the extruder head was like flopping about a millimeter and a half. Excuse me. But. And so I told him,
I'm permanently self-conscious now. I just want you guys to know
I'm sorry, but I said I can't print with it because the head is like it's too floppy. So the second printer they sent me is much better. And here's what they said: they said they procured their own V wheels that are made from true Delrin that they have tens of thousands of cycles on and have no wear.
Okay. I can't wait to see it.
And these printers.
Now, I will tell you, since I've had this printer, that every time I get done with the print, and you can see it if you look really closely right there, you see that black speckles? That's V-wheel dust. So
hold on. You mean authentic V-wheel?
Authentic Delrin V dust. Yeah,
Delrin V.
So far though, I haven't seen any slop in this one. The other one had lots of slop.
Okay.
And basically what they're saying is that they engineered into the parts, in the CAD design, they pre-tensioned the parts. And if you look at the way they designed it, it's like these arms, like the ears are sticking out. Mm-hmm. And it does, like when you put it on the extrusion, it does you have to pre-tension it to get them on there. And so it says that they believe that it's going to keep a perfect amount of tension on the V wheels. So we'll see.
Right.
Yeah, I know. I'm with you.
I mean, I'm not going to call anyone a liar without proof.
Yeah.
But
Tripod wants to know if you're getting a Kaiwu, Chris.
Yeah, he's already got one.
Yeah, that's what we were just talking about. I've got my Kaiwu. I'm looking forward to trying it out.
Tripod, there's room.
Is it the new Slim that they're going to have you try out?
He's got the Max.
No, the Kaiwu's I've got the Tycoon Max.
Oh, okay.
What's a Slim?
That's the one they're beta testing now.
Yeah, it's a new Cartesian.
John's got one.
Yeah,
I updated their firmware. It was all text-based and kind of ugly, and then they came out with real colorful firmware and nice icons, but a lot of the options weren't there. So I had to and I did that in my video. I had to revert back to the other. A lot of the features weren't there, and then I hooked up a Pi to it, so now the screen is irrelevant. But like with the crowd leaving, Dan?
He's waving it.
Yeah. Take care, Dan.
Yeah.
Thanks for coming.
See you, Dan.
See you, Dan.
Yep.
Hi, Dan. Good to talk to you, man.
Yeah.
But I hooked up a Raspberry Pi, and unlike a Creality machine, I can't baby step with it when I've got the Pi hooked up. I can't get to that menu. I can't see the temperatures on the screen when I'm running a Pi like Creality. Hook up a Raspberry Pi to a Creality machine. You can still use a dial. You can still.
You can take their firmware
thing, right?
If you take their firmware, you can. I mean, I don't know nothing about Marlin, but since I got this Lulzbot, I've kind of forced myself to learn some stuff. But you can take their source files and modify. You can add that. You can add baby stepping to it if you want, and then recompile it. Right. I've never messed with firmware until I got this, but I was surprised how easy it is to go in and add features to your Marlin.
But Lightspeed, it's a touch screen, so if you make changes in Marlin firmware to add features like that,
my eyes, Chris, no.
You have to develop the touch interface to be able to use it.
Yeah.
Right.
So
is that why TH3D always gets rid of it, and he goes to the encoder wheel, right? For the same reason, probably, right?
If you go to wheel, you can use raw Marlin interface because it's just a text.
Oh.
It's just text. But once you go to touchscreen, you have to develop the UI, the icons,
To read the touch to make it match.
you to do that.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh, lights.
I blew mine up. Like, literally,
Chris.
this is really blown up. So I had to.
You were nauseatingly organized. That's disgusting.
I tried to get that to work with my Stream Deck, and I couldn't figure it out. So I got lights.
I can't believe you had all your tools organized like that. It's crazy.
It's 3D printing, my friends. 3D printing. Like,
I don't care.
I'm going to release all these models to my
perfect.
My Patreons already have these models that I've released.
I could put a pegboard in here, sure, but why? When I can stuff it all in a drawer.
I would have thought that appeases your OCD, Steve.
It does. I'm jealous of it. It drives me nuts. I just don't have the time. I'm in a room in my house. I kind of wish I was in the garage, but the garage is like an oven. So,
so you're just feeling inadequate. Okay.
Am I gonna put pegboard on my walls in here? I don't know.
So this is nice. This is all stuff from who makes this? Seville Classics makes all this.
Yeah,
awesome.
it's like the stuff you get at like Home Depot, right? Like a workstation.
Yeah, I order these direct. You can order them online, and they've got free shipping, and I get them.
I should do that. I should get some pegboards up in here, but.
Oh, now here we go. We got the
other company that's copying Kaiwu.
Check the catchphrase. Check the catchphrase.
What does the catchphrase say?
On the journey to dreams.
Really?
A masterpiece.
Slow journey. It's a slow journey. Sure.
Consider it concerns of customers' experience.
Oh, wow.
Is that supposed to be like a digital snail trail in the corner?
I'm so confused.
How much you guys want to bet? How much you guys want to bet they're going to change the name of this printer before it's all said and done?
They're
not. I don't think they're going to release it with Snaily.
No.
Not after. I mean, maybe we should rib on them some more just so that they'll change it.
And then
I
send
mean,
them the link to the.
I think they should change it to SpongeBob's. They ought to call it Gary.
if they want to send me one, I'm going to let them because that's going to be the best live stream ever.
I'm going to suggest they change it to Gary. Gary the Snail.
But hey, I'll tell you now, if I get one and I have to do a live stream on it, Brian will be in the live stream with me.
Oh my God.
I will need constant dad jokes the whole time we're going.
I mean, they could really roll with it, right? They could do Gary's the new Benchy. You got to print it on our printer, you know?
That's it.
That's how they got to do it now.
Embrace it. Embrace it. That's the way you want to do it.
Did you fix it, Tim?
Yeah. But I made like 7 attempts at trying to print PLA on that textured sheet, and I gave up.
What are you working on? I missed that part.
Oh, I had a clogged nozzle.
Okay.
So I just took the whole hot end apart, cleaned it out, put a new nozzle on, put it back together, and then
he's got spare parts left over.
Yeah,
you can put the parts on his Voron. He's got spare parts on Voron now.
Somewhere, weren't they? Yeah.
Don't break the filament sensor again.
You know what Chinese company really got the naming right was Artillery. Artillery.
Yeah, they figured it out.
They did a really good. I mean, they got a little goofy with the Genius, but I mean, the Artillery X1 just sounds like a badass printer, right?
Until they ran into import issues.
Yeah, import issues due to the name because of the things that go bang related naming. So they have had things held up in customs.
Yeah, but now it says 3D printer all over the box.
Yeah, and they've changed the name.
Yeah.
Hey, you guys ought to go on Twitter and just search Snaily. Just search that word.
It is not family appropriate if you do that. If you're not careful.
I'll do it on someone else's
There is nothing.
device.
There is nothing 3D printer related. Let me tell you.
Yeah. It says a lot for your search engine.
Based on your recent search results.
Yeah, exactly.
Recommended for you.
Yeah, exactly. I try to clear my cache out at least once a week there, Jason. What about you?
Mine's automatic when I close the browser.
With good reason. And burn the printer. Burn the computer afterwards.
No one will ever know I watch Kersey Fabrications. No.
Can't
let that out.
You're okay to Google for that. I've checked. We're fine.
Come on.
Does Two Trees even have a Twitter or no?
They do, I think.
Yeah, I think they're the ones. I think that all those original posts that we were making fun of was from.
Wasn't Two Trees though a different company that got like really, really bad? Like their stuff was like garbage and really, really bad. And then they became Two Trees.
Well, the Bluer was there. They
Bluer.
came out with the Bluer, and TH3D annihilated them. He set the printer up, and he got so frustrated he actually dismantled it on stream.
Oh.
It says Snaily S1 comes. New printer, new era. Oh, hey guys, Snaily comes too. Interesting.
Goodbye, everybody.
I'll tell you what, I'm buying one. I'm getting one. You sold me.
I heard it takes forever to ship though.
Yeah.
To get there.
Maybe that's why they called it that, because it's going to take you 6 months to get it.
It takes forever to come.
Somebody says doesn't mean it's a glowing like a slug.
Is this okay to show?
Jeez.
I don't even know.
It's safe. It's safe. There's nothing bad in it.
3D Print Farm says if I get a Snaily, I shall call it Gary.
That's Jason's afterwards.
All right, guys, I'm going to have to take off. It is getting late in the evening here, so I'm going to let you go.
See you, Chris.
It was a lot of fun hanging out with you guys.
Nice talking to you, man.
We'll do it again.
Thank you, sir.
Take care.
Thanks for the invite.
Yes, you're always welcome.
Thank you.
Oh, and you can't message Two Trees on here. I was gonna give him some friendly advice.
They probably get enough friendly advice. They had to turn it off.
It came up with a chat box when I logged on. A chat box came up on the website. I logged on. So I don't know.
Huh.
Oh, it's working good.
Yeah, maybe I'll chase them down and see if they'll send me one of their Snailies.
Oh, I'll BRB, guys. I'll be right back.
All right.
Oh, Never mind. I was gonna go check on my dog. It turns out she's right under me. Never mind.
That's what that lump is. Yeah.
She's deaf, so she's hard to keep track of.
Put a bell on her.
If anybody watching would like to drop in, here's a link to StreamYard. We're live on YouTube and on Facebook on my group and page. If you have any questions, please feel free to ask.
There's still 29 watching, so you're doing okay, Jerry.
Yeah.
We haven't scared them all off.
Yeah, we just got to be careful what word we touch on, because certain people have a certain type of image, and if they partake in some words, then it's going to hurt them. So anyway.
I only said snaily once.
Yeah.
It's the name of a printer.
It's the name of a printer, Gary. It's not my fault.
No, I had somebody on about 6 months ago that popped in, and they used a couple really hardcore words that I wouldn't use online. I'm like, oh, don't. But anyway.
I was just reading the Two Trees ad.
It is funny. It's funny, isn't
how
it?
I talk
Really
off camera, how I talk on my real life and online is sometimes different.
How do you talk in real life, Jerry?
Yeah, well,
He can't do it on stream.
like a dirty biker or something. I don't know. Anyway,
Are you a biker, Jerry? You got a motorcycle?
I used to. My last bike was a Harley, but no, I haven't ridden in a long time. When I retired, I wanted to buy another Harley, but there's too much traffic in Vegas. I'd die. Too many people on stop signs. They're constantly hitting bikes every week.
Las Vegas
tourists that know how to drive.
Las Vegas is a zoo, man.
Yeah. You know, somebody would hit you, and I'm sorry, or a near miss. Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, okay. Yeah.
Or those people that walk on the strip, like when you drive on the strip, it's like you have to like keep poking the nose of the car through people. You know what I mean? Chris wasn't offended by Snaily. That's good, Chris. Thanks. I was worried about it.
He hasn't topped into a search engine yet.
It wasn't the Snaily, it was everything else that we said and did.
Yeah.
It was the only thing he wasn't offended by.
That's what he should have said. Snaily was the only thing I wasn't offended.
Chris, as you can see, I just modded you. You're welcome to post a link to your channel, and anybody here is welcome to post a link to their channel to promote yourself. You're very welcome. I have no problem with it. So Chris is a mod. He can do that if he'd like. Hey, here he is, the man himself. We've been waiting on him for like 2 hours and 15 minutes, but I don't see him yet. He logged in. I'm waiting for his face to pop up.
Well, if anybody's interested in my group, just punch in Tactile.
He's coming home from work. He's alive and he's a job, unlike some people.
Just throw it in chat, Matt.
Yeah.
Here he is, the working public.
What's going on? You're pretty bright today.
It's a lovely afternoon. Lovely afternoon. Driving home from work.
You look like an invisible man, a hat and glasses.
Yeah.
He looks like he doesn't know he's on stream.
I know I'm on.
He's getting abused by us. Of course he knows.
Somebody screen capture that.
Yeah, everybody go over to Chris and please subscribe and like and ring that bell on his videos. He has great content.
Yeah, there we go. That's better. Yeah, it's just so bright and lovely afternoon for you.
Take care.
Take care, Chris.
It is really bright.
Coming home from work, I thought you worked at home. But one day a week you got to go in, right?
Not all the time. I've told you that before, Jerry.
Yeah, he's a real job.
They make the one-legged guy go everywhere.
Yeah.
So you're doing your running around?
Ooh.
It was nice seeing you guys.
We need to ban that guy out of this.
Jason takes his hat and leaves the room. Picks up his hat and goes.
If only I knew what shame was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Some lack of it.
Thick skin helps. Yeah. On this stream, thick skin helps.
Oh god, then it must have like skin what must be a mile thick.
Well, it goes when it goes to especially like anybody like who worry about who's ever worked in IT. You leave your sensitivity outside the door because it doesn't.
That's for sure. Yeah.
Let me go make sure your door's open.
Well, as long as they're not
They
those
could be
killer
breeding.
bees
They could be
flying
breeding
around,
in your vents.
those giant black killer bees.
Well, mosquitoes are getting really bad. Even like normally mosquitoes come out like in the evenings when it gets cool.
Early morning, yeah.
Early
Sunrise,
morning
sunset.
and in the
Sunrise,
evening.
sunset. Yeah.
Around where I live now, it's been so bad. they actually they come after you during the day. They bite you during the day while the sun is out. And it's
That's
manageable
unusual.
drinks.
It's bad.
Yeah, it's been
I
really
wasn't
bad in this
Florida.
area.
Those things were in
'Cause we get-
Louisiana. Good God.
Yeah, we get really heavy rains, and then we have days of sunshine. But the rain in between the really heavy thunderstorms brings a lot of the water, and they're breeding like crazy.
All
in
that
the
standing
ponds.
water. Yeah. And it's like overnight too. Like I would have when I lived in Florida, it would rain. You'd get some water pooled like on your trash can lid, and you go out in the
straight away.
morning, and there's like a million.
Lava in it.
Yeah. You're like,
Yeah,
what?
you got to dump everything, keep it dry.
Yeah.
You're not a mod, Astro Printer? I don't know if that's clickable, but here it is.
But I've been looking for other stuff to engrave. My beloved just dropped these off to me, so I can
What, dog tags?
Nice.
I haven't tried engraving them, laser engraving them yet. So I'll try them on a diode laser, and I'll try them on the CO2. The CO2 will eat it up, no problem. But
They're aluminium. Yeah, aluminium.
Yeah, they're anodized aluminum. Yeah.
No, they're aluminum.
Aluminium. They're
Well,
aluminium.
they're
aluminum?
It's
They're
aluminum.
aluminium.
They're aluminum.
There's only one I in aluminum.
If you're in a sci-fi movie, it's aluminium. If you're in America, it's aluminum.
Yeah. The
Well, aluminum is the powder they use to make. That's part of the processing before you get to aluminium.
from the bauxite. Yeah, you got to start with the
Yeah.
bauxite. Yeah.
Okay, here we go.
Aluminium.
Here it is.
Aluminium
Don't
oxide.
argue with the geologist.
Yep, I'm afraid so. Aluminium
No,
oxide.
no, I know. Ike today is like he's a geologist, so
Yeah.
you can't argue with him. This is
Unfortunately,
profession.
and Australia, the home of aluminium.
Yeah, can't argue with it.
Yeah.
Australia and Africa and South Africa.
They're the largest producers of aluminium, bauxite. Yep. Bauxite.
I'll be back in a few minutes, guys. Okay.
No, we didn't lose Tim. Who did we lose? Okay.
I'll be back in a few minutes.
All right.
What's happened to you? Are you just reloading up there, Lightspeed? That's your oozing filament there, is it?
It's atomic golden blood diamonds.
That's an interesting label. Golden blood diamonds. That's a hell of a title for a filament color.
It's one of my favorites.
You'd buy it just for the color label alone.
Yeah, I pretty much only buy American filament if I can. I have a few. Actually, I take that back. One of my favorites is Ad North, the Swedish brand. Their filament for $20 a spool, shipped anywhere in the world. Pretty awesome filament. So.
Yeah. Shipping anywhere in the world defines a little bit of detail down to me. I mean, it cost me a fortune for freight from overseas. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Even if it's printed in America, there's no guarantee that their pellets came from America.
True.
Yeah, that's true.
Like the Swedish, the Ad North is, I mean, by far one of the best filament companies I've dealt with. They just have really good colors and a lot of glittery and pet G's and all kinds of stuff. They do, and their prices are like on Black Friday they had $15 a spool, and some of the best colors I've ever seen. Honestly, like they basically copy Filamentum's. Like you couldn't tell the difference between theirs and Filamentum's colors. And $15 a spool and Filamentum is like $40 a spool. So
Tim, are you eating a Vegemite sandwich?
No, I'm eating a. And I was just thinking, why is it the fat guy that's always eating on stream? But hey, lunch, peanut butter and jam sandwich.
Peanut butter and jelly.
Yep.
Jam.
No, peanut butter and jelly.
I love peanut
And
butter
then
and
this
jelly.
package is sitting at my door. I have no idea what it is. I don't remember ordering it.
You gonna open it on stream?
Sure.
Cool.
Isn't that always the way, Tim? Because I come
sure?
home every day and I go, "What? I don't remember. I wasn't expecting nothing."
What is?
Is it your CNC upgrade kit?
Oh no! Oh no! It's a package of staples for my office. Heavy duty staples.
Maybe it's your new T-shirt. No?
Yeah. There we go.
I tell you what, since I've
Show
used
us again,
that
Tim.
Devil Design Pet G, which is printing really well.
Devil design.
Yeah, they're a company out of Poland. I'm gonna pick up probably a couple of their PLA rolls and see how they come out, because it's like
I've never even heard of it.
$23. It's like 23, $24, and it shows up on the third day.
Really?
Wow.
Oh, by the
Yeah.
way, the Ad North is the same way. Once they ship it, it's like 3 days to your door, which is amazing. I mean, I couldn't even get TH3D's order here in 3 days.
Yeah,
It's right.
5, 6, and Prusa. They sent me out a replacement thermistor when I built that Mini, and it's like wham bam, it was here that quick.
Yeah,
That's
Prusa's
the worst
super
thing
fast.
about
Really
Slice
fast.
Engineering, though, is for the premium you pay on their parts. I mean, you can do. I just did a $250 order, and it's going to take over a week to get here with their free shipping included. It's
Really?
like, really?
I've never ordered
Because
from
it's
them.
UPS SurePost, so it goes by whatever Uber driver's coming your direction, handing off to the post office, who holds on to it forever and then brings it out whenever.
I've never had that issue with them. I mean, I usually get it within 3 or 4 days, I would think.
Where
No,
does it-
and
where do they
every
have it?
order that I've had from them takes about 10 to 11 days to get
Where do
here.
they ship out of?
Florida,
Or over by
Gainesville.
Yeah, Florida. Got a Gainesville.
Wow.
Yeah. Yep. That's the only thing that I, and anywhere that I would go to, like third party to buy it from, like maybe Alien 3D or something, which a lot of times is $2 cheaper a part. But then by the time they charge you for shipping, sometimes it might be worth it for me to get it from them, because it'll come in 3 days versus waiting 11 days for something, especially if it's the last one that I broke, like a heat break on a Copperhead, which is super easy to break.
What does it taste like? What does Vegemite taste like in America? What does it taste like?
Have you ever thrown up in your mouth?
Oh, yes, that's exactly what it tastes like. Sweat
It's like
socks.
that, but worse.
It tastes like sweat socks.
So you smell it and you get the gag reflex just going in your mouth. Bang.
I just watching them eat it made me
It's an
puke.
acquired.
Wow.
It is
Well,
an acquired, but it
I don't like
shouldn't be.
Nutella. I love chocolate and stuff, but I don't like Nutella. I've tried Nutella.
You don't like the
I care for it.
hazelnut kind of flavor in it?
I eat a lot of
Nutella's
peanut butter.
good.
I love peanut butter.
Nutella's good.
The heck with it.
I've never heard of CFABS. CF. I'm not familiar with it.
Carbon fiber.
Oh, okay.
ABS? Oh,
Duh. No, I haven't tried it. We were talking about the pre-cement carbon fiber, right? A little bit ago, the black that you have.
Yeah, their carbon fiber is the best.
that one that John was using, it's Pryline, right? He said it was really good.
I've used the Pryline CF PLA, and it's great.
I've tried their TPU Pryline when we're doing the droid build.
At one time, Pryline had CF PETG on Amazon for $25 a roll, but they would only let you order one roll at a time. And so for a week, I ordered one roll every day. And then their price went to like $45.
Wow.
Well, they don't want
Yeah,
someone
but
to
they-
buy it up and mark it up.
I don't know, man. I think it was a mistake, to be honest.
Well, whenever Amazon has a discount on a product, you get X amount of dollars off if you click the box. Then I just do multiple separate orders.
Well,
Yeah.
sometimes too, and I know that I don't know if it's every seller, but I've heard this from some sellers on Amazon. Their agreement to sell on Amazon allows Amazon to mark their prices down to whatever. So if Amazon wants to move something out of their warehouse, they'll just slash your price to move it out of their warehouse.
Thanks,
And
Libby.
then you get what you get, because that was your agreement, because it didn't move at the speed that was anticipated or something. So
GST 3D, I bought 10 spools and I ordered another 10. At one point, it was 10 for $100 free shipping. Then they jacked up the price a little, and then it started to come down a little. So I ordered 10 more, and now it's way down like $7.99 a roll.
it's like $8 a roll.
I don't know
Yeah,
why they came
I've
down so low.
never tried that. Is it any good?
it's not bad. It really.
They
What I found
claim to be
is
American too, right?
it's extruded in the U.S., but the pellets are from Brazil or
They got
somewhere,
like 3 factories.
Argentina,
Yeah, I don't care.
think. Yeah, but either way, that pit droid is their silver PLA.
It
It's
isn't
not.
round.
It's not.
It isn't wound pretty.
It's
got
not
like a
wound
white-
well.
like a white chalky on the reel, but I'm going to print my R2D2
Yeah.
with it if I ever print it.
It doesn't
Yeah,
matter
the
as long as it
spools
doesn't
are-
tangle.
Yeah.
It doesn't. I haven't had one tangle. I have gotten square filament from them
Wow.
that they had to replace 8 rolls. But and I find that their white isn't really white. It's more like an off-white. It's kind of yellowish, and it tends to string quite a bit. But the black and the silver that I've gotten from them print great when it's not square. It
Yeah.
was really bad. It was like square on one half, and then it was rounded on the other with lines in it. It was really. I think I showed you guys once. It was really bad. But I mean,
Once the
things
nozzle
happen.
squares up, it should be fine.
What's that?
Once the nozzle's squared up, it should be fine. Going around corners, especially.
Right. You just got to print a lot of wood filament first, and then it prints just fine. Well, I haven't even seen the pink spools from them. Usually you get those really bad injection molded looking bent up. See, those are decent spools.
But how can they call it a black edition if the spools are pink or
It's a
red?
black box. I don't know.
You get what you get in terms of the spools, because sometimes I get black spools, sometimes I get like a clear kind of plastic,
Yep.
but most of the time the spools are really bad. They're usually all twisted and melted, and I can't even run them in the rep box. Or if you go to put them on to a spool holder, you've got to clean out the inside of the hole inside, because where it's melted together leaves the seam squish, and you got to clean that out. And then if you get a really bad one, the hole isn't even round, so it just flomps everywhere every time it spins on the spool holder. But for $8, what do you expect, right?
Yeah. PLA Plus is all they make, and yeah, I've been having no issues with it so far.
But the filament itself prints fine.
I used
It
to
prints
print with Arion
I think
filament.
Joel just did one on his stream where they sent him a roll and he printed like a vase or something, and it printed really well.
Arion used to send me filament all the time, and I printed with it left and right. Real pretty filament, really brittle filament, and yes, it would get clogged in my filament runout sensor enough that I didn't want to try it no more. So I no longer use it because there's too many places where I've had a knot in a filament. You know what I'm talking about? And it hits the filament runout sensor, and you're printing in midair, or it's brittle and it breaks. It's like, you know what? It's pretty filament, but I'm not going to deal with this no more.
Yeah. I've only tried Arion once. I had 2 rolls that somebody gave me. That one was like a blue, like a glitter blue, and one was like a glitter purple or something, and he couldn't get it to print well. And I was like, I'll try it out. So I dried them out, but it was really soft PLA, and it was kind of hard to get it to print. And then once you did, your prints, it didn't, and it was PLA, so it wasn't like PLA Plus, but the prints felt really soft even once it was printed. It had that same kind of soft, it looked nice, but it's not something I would use to like make a bracket or something.
Well, makers, see if GST3D will ship to where you're at. Go to their website, gst3d.com, I believe it is. I don't know. They got like 3 warehouses around the world.
Yeah, like Coex, I like their PETG. I usually buy it. They're just their mystery stuff, because if it's going to get painted anyway, or something I'm not going to print that doesn't take a full spool, and just get whatever colors they get, because I can you can catch them for like $15 to $17, and it's really good.
Yeah, $32 a spool. It's kind of high for me. I would never pay that. I'll just contact the company and say, hey, I'll do a video on your film, and you want to send me blah blah blah, and that's kind of usually how I handle it. But I've done so many videos on film, and I really don't want to do anymore, unless I have to. So,
I think do you pay tax? I think it's just that price, right? You don't pay tax on when you order from GST.
Maybe there's import fees or something. I don't know.
Oh well, yeah. Oh, that's right, because he's not. Yeah.
I just don't understand why they sell it so cheap. I mean, the closest to them would be like printed solid, right? Like for price wise, like $20.
Probably, yeah.
I mean, they're half the price of printed solid.
Well, yeah. Well, they're kind of hit or miss. Their colors are, they got a lot of colors, but I also think that it's that same filament being sold under different names. Like somebody was saying that like 3D Max or something like that was the same. It's basically this from the same extrusion. It's just being sold by like a copy company, and then another company buys it and puts their name on it. So it's volume that they're moving rather than, because they're selling it to you $8 a roll, but you got to buy 10, right?
Right.
Yeah.
So, yeah. And you know, their consistency, like Jerry was saying, sometimes, you know, they're not wound the best. They're not, the spools aren't the greatest. So that there's cost cutting there somewhere. But when I had that problem with those spools, they just, I mean, it wasn't difficult to get them replaced. I just sent them pictures of it, and they were like, "Oh, sorry, we'll send you more." What are you breaking now, Tim?
Nothing. I gave up on the Prusa. I've got I have to. I'm upgrading it to a MK3S Plus anyway, so I got to rebuild pretty much the whole hot end and all the parts. So I'm bringing this one out, see if I can get this piece printed for my customer. So.
And the SR will print it faster anyway because it's got a higher speed print.
Which does?
The SR.
Oh, this,
Will
yeah.
print faster than the, yeah.
If I want it to go fast, yeah.
Yeah. You know, the loudest printer that I have now is that Prusa Mark III S. I think this is a Mark III S Plus. I don't even know. How do you know the difference between an S and an S Plus?
The Y rail. The Y rails don't have zip ties.
Nope, no zip ties.
Yeah, so if you don't have zip ties, it's a Mark III S Plus.
Okay. Yeah, I had no idea, because like I said, I bought it off somebody, so, you know, and it was brand new in the box, and then it just sat in the garage.
I mean, there's no. I mean, I don't think there's much of a difference, but I do know that like I think the INC board is a little bit different from the 3S Plus to the Mark 3S, but I'm not sure about that.
Yeah, no. It prints well though. I mean, I had to kind of, well, I mean, you got to tune for the filaments anyway if you're just using their presets, but even their presets was okay.
Who the Prusa presets?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, they do a really good job on their presets are really good.
Yeah. I mean, I had to tweak it a little bit for the filament that's on there, but other than that,
he's falling asleep, guys.
No.
What time is it there?
Falling asleep. He is sleeping.
2 in the morning, isn't it?
He's sleep streaming.
No, 11:30.
Okay, that's not bad.
No, I was doing some work and I was out at some resin. So
he's got another lithophane going in the resin.
Well, show us your lithophane you showed earlier, because people that might not have been here at the beginning of the stream, we can rehash what we talked about earlier.
Yeah, the camera doesn't do it justice. I mean, it looks very nice.
Well, I can always say that about my worst print. Look at this, but the camera doesn't.
Yeah, I know.
It's the
camera's turned off,
and
the room lights are off, and it looks brilliant in the dark. Yeah,
it's great. Looks great in the garbage. Where'd you hang it? In the trash?
Very nice.
No, it looks good.
Yeah.
But the camera doesn't do it justice.
I want to do a video about me taking a 55-gallon trash can and getting rid of some of my bigger models I don't want that I can't sell because even though I've painted them, some of them have layer line issues and they don't look what I think are good enough to sell. I need to make some sort of a video and film it while I'm dropping them in the trash can. I just got to figure out what to do.
Where do you find some kids and go to a game store and find kids who are interested and give it to them?
That's what I do. I put them out on top of my garbage can, and they never see garbage day. All the kids in the neighborhood take them. That's not a bad idea, though, Jerry.
You doing a video about it?
No, just like putting them out where the kids can grab them, in the neighborhood.
I'd have to wait till it cooled down, but I got a lot of bigger stuff I want to get rid of.
Oh, the PLA
I can't put on Etsy or can't sell.
Get them before they melt.
My son's like, we'll just wait till it cools down, have a yard sale, and list it, and have people come out and just make offer on this table, or have your prices really super low. That way, you get something out of them rather than nothing.
True. Get $8 for it, and you can buy a roll of GST.
Yeah.
So I just pinged 2 trees to see if they about their snaily.
Yeah.
Snaily.
Yeah, they have to change that name.
It says on their thing, Snaily, it comes. I'm just reading what it says.
And you know when it's been.
It says, Snaily S1, it comes. New printer, new era. We're looking for distributors all over the world.
What happens if you pour salt on it?
It says on the journey to dream. It's a 36.
Put a copper ring around me.
But here, check. It's a 36-volt machine, so that's new. 36-volt, 300-watt, high-powered heating plate with an XY axis linear rail.
Weird because non-standard. That is just like strange. It's 24
got
volts
auto leveling,
standard.
XY axis tensioners. It's got mute printing. So if it's a little too loud, you just hit the mute button. PEY,
pretty quiet.
Intended to shut up.
Double-edged spraying magnetic film.
Yeah,
Double
mute
Z-axis.
it's on and off switch. Mute
It's
printing
got a
on and off
proximal
switch.
extrusion kit. So
Proximal extrusion kit. There we go.
well, if it's a little too loud for you, you just hit the mute button. It's right on the front.
So does a proximal extrusion mean it'll almost print what you expect?
Pretty much.
No, it means it almost prints on the bed.
Look, sir, you're asking too many questions. If you want to ask that many questions, you got to spend $5.29, not $4.29.
We have no facts for you.
Yeah.
Oh God, don't give that printer to Liam.
Don't give it the tripod.
Here's a tripod.
Oh, you see Chris's shirt the other day that he's wearing in the stream? It said, I said, I'm sorry, I'm in the garage working or something like that. And I asked him, I said, which garage? You over at Tripod's house right now? Working on his printers?
It turns out hand spooling your filament causes more problems than it's worth.
Oh God, don't do that.
Yeah.
I've thought about if you could set up, like a reel to reel with 2 motors.
Yeah, like
pulled to
like
one
Alien
side.
has.
Yeah, if you could do that, that might be okay.
It works great if you can spool like in the same axis, right? So like the master spool and then whatever you're spooling to is on the same, linear axis.
Right.
But like when the spool's laying on its side and you're trying to spool it, it's like it gets twisted. The filament starts twisting.
Yeah,
Right.
they need to be.
It's got that spool memory.
When they're doing it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I don't have a way to do that with the 10 kg spool. So I got to get this freaking thing finished. They sent it to me, and I feel bad that it's just sitting there collecting dust.
Yeah.
That's a big spool.
It is, dude. 10 kg is big, big, big.
5s are big, and I think that's about just about the most I could manage.
Well, and they're also developing a spooler is what they're calling it, I think, and it basically sits in these 2 metal rolls, and then when the printer pulls on the filament, it has a motor in it that feeds it.
Mm-hmm. You have to for the weight, yeah.
Yeah, so and it's so that it doesn't forward feed, right? The momentum doesn't carry it forward. I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to do the way I was going to do it.
Yeah.
But.
Otherwise, you'd need like a strong rewinder, but then you'd end up probably putting too much tension going back the other way.
Right. Like the one from ZYLTECH, actually, the one that Jerry built, that I saw that, and I wish that could fit 10 kg spools because it has a tensioner where you can tension it the free spin. So
yeah. Well, you could probably adapt that, right?
It's just really big.
If it won't fit,
I haven't cranked it down. That part's printed out of plastic, and I haven't cranked it down real tight. I got it real loose, and it can basically spin free. I was afraid to crank it down real tight because I don't want to break the part on that tension.
That's a good idea though, because you got tension on the spool, so it's not going to free spool.
And the old version they had was just a square frame of extrusion with roller bearings on it, and the 5 kilogram spool would jump out of it at times. Because one time it landed on the floor, so I had to run a wire all the way through it. And this new one, it hangs on, it turns real easy. It's very well built. So,
yeah.
I guess you could scale it up though.
But I can get up to 5 kilo spools into the filler dryer.
Very nice, man.
If it doesn't fit in the filler dryer, there's no point because especially when you're doing PETG and all those, you need to keep it dry. Like down south, you may not have that problem in Arizona and those areas, but if you're in anywhere humid, Michigan is very humid in summer. You definitely need a dryer to keep it.
I normally never have to dry any filament, and
But
like
you're
in
Vegas,
the last.
like,
Yeah, but in the last 2 weeks, like the humidity went from 4 to 40.
Yeah,
40
and I had but I had like 3 spools out, and I had to dry them because as soon as I put them in the printer, they started spitting. I'm like, really? And I'm like, what's wrong? Because that's not the first thing that comes to mind for me here.
That's why I said, and 10-kilo spools are pointless unless you have a dryer to just hold them.
I might try to find a way to put it through the Sunloo, like maybe feed it through the back of the filament dryer under a spool and then out the front. I don't know.
Sunloo will not dry damn filament.
But how are you gonna dry? How are you gonna dry a 10 kg spool anyways? The only thing I can think of is put it in the dryer.
Put it in the oven.
I'd be afraid to put it in the oven.
I don't think that's in the oven. Food dehydrator.
Fire underneath.
Food dehydrator is the way to do it.
Well, I could if you got like a big plastic bin and got one or two of those food dehydrators and cut the hole like people do and mount them onto through a lid and seal it up to make a giant dehydrator and leave it in there for a month.
Man, I got it. I got it because I thought I was saving. They sent it to me and I was exploring the idea when I get the rat rig because I want to print like really big things and I don't want to be changing spools every 10 seconds. So
yeah.
I mean, if you ever try to print with a 1.2 nozzle, I mean, it will eat a kilo of plastic in seconds,
Yeah.
Even when you're doing your full-size R2-D2, Liam, that's what you want for your nice big domes.
What, 10 kilo?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well, as I said, if it's PLA, fine, because PLA is not as hygroscopic. But if you don't know PETG or anything like that, you need a dryer. And you need to dry it before you put it in the dryer because dryers are really like most dryers.
They maintain it. They don't
maintainers.
It.
They're not designed like this. The Sunloo, if you already have it dried and you put it in there, it will keep it dry. But if you put in nylon in there, there's no way in hell it will ever dry your nylon. There's not a chance in hell it will do it.
Well, that's why it works better with that fan mod, but then you got to mess with it and.
Yeah. So
yeah.
Well, the new Sunloo one has a fan in it. They're gonna send me one, but it actually goes up. It's gonna go up to 80 C, I think, inside or
okay.
Because right now they only go to 55, right?
That one as well for the same reason.
That's what that is.
Yeah.
It goes up to like 80 C, and it's got different fans in it that push the air around it. So
yeah. So I have one of the S2s coming. They've already, I believe, they've already shipped it to me. But my filler dryer is the only dryer that I got will actually dry filament, but it's a big box. I mean,
isn't the filler dryer just a food dehydrator? Or no,
the original filler dryer was, but the version 2 is not. Let me bring it in. I'll show it to you.
Yeah, Big Mike. I've never tried that. Carbon fiber PLA or carbon fiber ABS.
I don't think I've ever seen it in anything but black.
Oh, I have. Atomic does
colors.
Okay. Atomic does a blue and a red carbon fiber PETG.
Yeah, I'm kind of looking forward to the palette coming in because the only thing that I really want it for is the multi-spool feature, so that you don't have to deal with that 10K or 5K spool.
Right.
Yeah, that's I got the same thing sitting right there.
One. Yep. Yeah. Same one. Yep.
Yeah. So
yeah, I was just thinking on the rat
out here it works okay.
On the rat rig, I want to buy like I want to be able to print like I don't know, maybe like do like the stuff like the big furniture stuff.
This is the filler dryer version 2.
Oh, wow.
So that's a 2.5 kilo spool from IC3D of PETG inside it.
Looks like they went to IKEA and then they sold their idea.
Yeah, I was just going to say, it looks like they robbed a container.
Dude, my wife would be so pissed if I used her Tupperware for that.
But you can put two spools in there side by side, or you can put in big spools like this. So it can hold multiple spools, and these can be stacked. You can get other units to stack them to put multiple spools, all fed out through these, and it works great.
Liam, do those actually look like they were separate containers and somebody in the office had an idea, let's cut out the bottom and stack them? I mean,
no.
Okay.
They're made to stack.
They're made to stack, and it actually does a really good job.
Okay.
A 2.5.
Have you guys seen the filament, the filament dry box or no?
We've seen your video on it. Looks very nice.
IC3D PETG.
That's good.
That's
I like that
a
it's got those cones so you can get different size spools.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's a 2.5 kilo spool.
Very nice.
Here's the filament box. It's pretty nice. It's beefy.
Yeah, it looks like 4-inch acrylic or something. Yeah.
Yeah,
They all look the same to me. I mean, yeah, that looks fancier than his Tupperware, but
they do the same thing. Yeah.
But they all look. I mean, it's a box. It's a box with a heater.
And the amount of money that probably costs.
This one doesn't have a heater though. This one just has the desiccant in the bottom.
Okay.
Yeah.
If you're rich, you could afford to buy maybe 10 of them, but
yeah. Well, I also keep the desiccant little things in the rep box that like 2 weeks when I noticed that the humidity had gone up, so I pulled them out. They were pink, threw them in the oven, put them back in blue. They're already almost pink again. I mean, the humidity's come down to 25, and it's slowly coming back down, and it's probably just the monsoon weather that we get, that whatever filters over from the coast from California.
Well, it's like 37. Mine says that it's 37% in here today.
But here, like the rest of the year, if it gets to 14% humidity, it's like we're drowning. You know, it's just
Right.
not. That's just not the norm here. Yeah.
right after it rains.
Actually, mine says 23% today. You're in Las Vegas?
Yeah.
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 Yeah, well, we're 65% here. That's
Yeah,
our-
today in Arizona and
that's
Phoenix it
low.
says 23%.
37%.
Well, yeah, but like, so I dry all my spools in a food dehydrator first,
Mm-hmm.
and then inside in those containers I put desiccant packs in there because when it's running, my desiccant packs can be microwaved in like about a few minutes and then they're done, right? But I put them in the bottom so when it's running, it actually dries out the desiccant. So when you're not using it, I have little rubber stoppers. It doesn't come with them, but I made little rubber stoppers that goes into the gaps where the filament feeds out.
Mm-hmm.
And by doing that, then now it's a sealed unit, and the desiccant keeps it dry when it's in there and when it's not being used.
There you go.
I turned up your mic in StreamYard, so if you were kind of low, but my crank.
Oh, okay. As if I'm not loud enough naturally. You should actually tell my wife that my voice is low. You should actually tell her that because she wouldn't agree with you.
You gotta label your stream correctly, Liam, like I do. That's why. It's
My wife likes to talk to me when she can't see me. She'll be out of the room somewhere else, and if you're not standing in front of me talking, I usually can't understand what you're saying. So the one word I say all day long is "huh." That's my favorite word.
But that's every wife.
Or I'll be watching something on my
It's
computer.
called selective. Once you're married, it's called selective deafness.
Yes, it is.
It's like whatever I'm doing, let me pause it first so I can hear you.
And I heard a sudden shout from the back of the house there. Hey, I heard that.
Yeah, it is true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You let her know it's not a
the
fault,
longer
it's
you're
a
married,
feature.
the more selective it becomes.
It's a skill set that you've worked on for years and
Well, no.
perfected.
The selectivity of it comes when if it's something for you or something for them.
Yep.
Hey, we got another man
good.
popping in here, Maker Viking. Hello, Thomas. How you doing?
Hey,
Hey,
Thomas.
how's it going, Thomas?
Yeah.
What are you guys doing?
Well,
Discussing
you're
the
not
merits
here
of
watching
marriage.
we're just giving everyone a hard time for the fun of it.
How's your printer come
That's
along,
good.
Thomas?
It's going forward. I'll probably start printing the prototype this weekend.
Nice.
That's my goal.
What's the build volume of that new one?
Oh, it's tiny. It's 120 by 120 and about 150.
So it's you're going after the Voron one, okay?
V0.
That's the zero.
Oh, V0, okay.
Same
Nice.
size bed. But probably just a little more in C height.
Sweet.
So, yeah. So I've had good progress on it, and it's getting close. So we can all do that to every single company out there about their literature and their
documentation and their verbiage.
Or lack thereof.
I think what he's saying though is you got the key to that is being funny. So
yeah. So when are you going to start being funny, anyways?
you might be funny. I just can't understand you, so I don't know.
Yeah, nobody understands.
Whatever that
me.
funny accent
I don't understand me.
You might be the funniest guy on here. I just wouldn't know. So.
Yeah.
Man, the only people that do well with instructions without any words is Lego. Apart from that, and their documentation has no wording whatsoever in it.
Just
and
pictures.
they do it so well.
Pictures and arrows, yeah.
Yeah, they do a fantastic job of it. Yeah.
I just don't understand these Chinese companies why they don't just get. I mean, honestly, you could pay somebody $100 to proofread that shit, and it would be way better than it is, and they would get a lot less flack for it, unless they just don't care. I guess.
Some companies work
part of it is that, and part of it is the whole Chinese cultural thing. So.
Yeah.
Well, and I get that most of it is like written in Chinese and then translated, and that it doesn't translate well. But it's like it wouldn't cost them anything to have it proofread, you know.
But there are companies out there. There are some of the Chinese companies who do work with
that's badass
members of the community to try and make
it just looks serious, doesn't it?
That thing looks wicked, dude. Hey, Thomas. One of the questions though. How does that extruder work when it feeds into the filament? I mean, is it going to make a 90-degree drop into the?
No, it'll be about
zoom in.
I haven't made a Bowden tube yet.
It's gonna have a Bowden. It's gonna have a Bowden tube. Okay,
yeah,
I
see
didn't
the coupling below it. The coupling's below there, just below.
Yeah. When it was on Twitter, everybody was asking because I didn't see that. So
yeah.
You can see the
I'll need to shorten the cable chain, of course, but I'll probably do that when I'm building it to see exactly the length I need. Otherwise, let's see. Yeah. Cables will be one back here. That is just temporary. I don't know exactly what connectors I will use yet.
The cables are going to run inside, Thomas, or no?
Yeah, from let's go from the start here.
What material are you going to print it out of?
I'm going to test several, but it probably needs something, at least PETG, but probably ABS or polycarbonate to be able to print with the lid closed and the door closed.
Can you get that Prusament carbon fiber that Lightspeed was talking about? That prints really nice. That might be an option, but then
that stuff looks so nice, man.
Yeah. Well,
is that going to have feet, Thomas? Or
yeah.
Is it just going to be right?
It has feet. Integrated in the bottom lid here.
That's fine. Well, you may want to have a grill on the fan. That's all.
Oh yeah. I will have a filter as well. I started on. I need another one here. So.
John would
but of course,
need a filter.
Yeah. So the wires from the bottom here.
Why?
And up here, probably make something more to fasten the cables in. And two connector blocks here.
Okay.
There's an entry. I'm not quite done there yet, but let's see. Yeah, you see it. The cable entry is here.
Yep.
Goes around to the cable chain. Yeah, and to the hot end.
And all the wiring's gonna be hidden in the panels.
Yeah.
That's really good.
No,
yeah.
It's just a nice seamless.
Oh
design.
Yeah, look at that. Look at that.
That's nice.
That looks nice. Yeah.
Nice.
With nice ventilation, and it'd be quiet as. It'd be quiet as.
Yeah.
And it's gonna have a door on it.
Yeah. I need to make the hinges for that, and
magnetic clasps. Magnetic.
Yeah, that works too.
Yeah, there's two handles.
Yeah.
Two handles in the front and magnet. Use rare earth magnets to stick it on, then you can just pop it off again.
That's the solution I have on the Ymir. But I might make hinges for the top lid as well, back here.
Oh, nice.
You need to put LEDs inside
in the light. So it's like the same thing. Light the eyes up with LEDs. Exactly. It's exactly the same thing.
I plan to do that. So
actually, the whole wolf design, if that goes all through, you have two layers, and so the whole wolf will show up through the LEDs.
Yeah, that would be cool.
Yeah.
Let me translate. He's basically saying put it behind the plastic so that it glows. So.
Yep.
Like a little fake.
Thanks, Lightspeed.
Exactly.
What
So,
would I do without you?
I think he just said, "I can't live without you."
Yeah, that's what he said.
Jerry, use your mute button, please.
yeah, mute Liam.
Yeah.
Oh, that's funny.
So that's it.
No, I love it.
Yeah, I love it, man. That is really cool. So that's
It's
kind of
just
your
so-
answer. That's your answer to the Voron.
V0.
Yeah.
It's what actually I started thinking about making a tiny printer just after starting EMID. And when I needed a break from EMID this summer, I started this.
So this one, is it a 3-point kinematic bed or no?
No, it's 3-point bed leveling, but not automatic. It's manual.
Yeah, but
It's a
and on a
tiny-
printer that small, you don't really need it, right?
No, it's so
No.
tiny.
You haven't got the expansion to worry about.
No.
Are you gonna have an AC heater on it?
No, I'll use DC on this. I was considering AC, but it'll be a DC.
Yeah.
It's so
That's small.
small.
I mean,
you
that'll
don't
be
need
fine. And especially with it being
It's
heated.
enclosed. It's enclosed as well.
Yeah, and
Yeah,
enclosed.
That's what's
yeah.
cool about it.
Yeah.
You'll need to go AC when you go like beds bigger than 300. That's when you need the AC to speed the
Yeah,
to heat
EMID
it.
is AC.
Have you seen the Voron AC bed pad? It's like, I mean, it looks like a cup coaster, tiny.
Yeah. I don't have one. Yeah.
It kind of looks. I mean, I look at it and I'm like, you could put that next to your resin printer and
It looks like a resin. It does. It looks like a resin.
Yeah.
Just
Yeah.
don't get them mixed up.
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
Don't pour your resin in there.
It's probably smaller than the resin printer.
Yeah, your wife comes back and hey, honey, I got your resin printer ready to go, but it's running on the floor.
Don't FDM print in a vat. That won't work that well either.
I'll redesign this part and the blue part here to make it easier to print.
I can't use blue because blue's taken for the snail printer. It's got to change.
Yeah.
Really? Yeah.
Yeah. That's what that means in Norwegian, snail.
Yeah.
Actually,
So this
Horrible.
is the Snaily 0.
Yeah. This is Snaily 0.1.
do it in red so the wolf eyes, the wolf outline is red.
Yeah.
Mm.
We'll see.
Yeah, so we've already ruined the snaily now, so there can't be any blue associated with it. Unfortunately, so
Yeah.
that's not our fault. That was
I
Snailly's fault.
posted this before the snail lead also.
Yeah.
Yes, you did.
I got tips on that.
Well, it is a darker color. It's theirs is more like a tealy blue, so that's a nice dark color. That's fair
Why
enough.
we didn't
Okay,
say
I
what
have
this
to
one
ask
called?
you now.
Did
Kieran?
you just say something about tripod?
Oh, that was a while ago.
No, he's jumping. He's on his way home still. He's
Yeah.
gonna be on
Well,
half an hour.
he heard the comment earlier, but this is something different. Okay.
What's this printer called, Thomas?
Fenrir. Or Fenrir in Norwegian.
Oh, okay.
It's,
I can't say that. I was going to ask you if it comes too, but I guess I can't say it. So it doesn't have the same.
Doesn't quite work.
I can't say the name.
Guys, I gotta go. There's just certain things that are bad for my image. I can't be talking about that.
Yeah, but Fenrir is the
I
god
gotta go.
of
Bailey's never
Loki.
gonna send you
I'm gonna say good night, guys.
Isn't that right? Isn't Fenrir
Good
the
night,
god
guys.
of Loki, right?
Taking
Take
off,
care,
Matt.
Matt. Thank
Or
you.
son of
Matt.
Loki.
Cheers, Matt.
It's the
Get
son
lost
of
in
Loki.
Yeah, the son of Loki, yeah.
Yeah.
When something goes from there to here, that's coming here. So that's what everybody means. If anybody is thinking something else, that's what they meant.
We weren't. What do you mean, Jerry? Can
We
you
didn't-
elaborate?
What are you
Explain-
talking about,
What are
Jerry?
you explaining? What are you trying to tell us?
Jerry,
Is
can
there
you
something wrong with
talk
it?
a little bit more about that? I don't understand.
Yeah.
No,
I
I
understand the
can't.
connotations.
Can you
Yeah.
explain the
Something.
differences in detail?
Yeah. What are the different ways to spell it? Is there different ways?
Do you have graphic slideshows? As a matter of fact,
It's the wrong stream to make comments like that on. That's for sure.
Jerry's gonna, for the first time ever, kick us all off.
I need a picture book.
A widespread mute button goes on there.
Yeah.
We're all
Oh my
muted.
gosh.
Yeah.
We get kicked off here. That we know we were bad.
Yeah, it'll take some doing. They'll take some doing.
Yeah.
Definitely the wrong crowd with
It's
Liam and
the
myself.
stream
and
started.
Jason.
The stream started with you licking Vegemite off your finger.
Right.
Hey,
Yeah,
you know,
that was clear.
I have to set the standard. I had to sit to stand there for.
I felt like you were. I felt like you were looking right at me while you were doing it.
Jerry's stream.
Sharon, do you have
Holy
any
crap.
babies? Sharon, do you have any babies in the house?
No.
What?
Well,
Any
if you had babies,
I mean, I like children. I just couldn't eat a whole one.
If you had babies in the house, you could go get a clean diaper that's actually clean, smear Vegemite in it, walk in the room and show us. You untape it, open it up, and you lick it.
A friend of mine.
Unfortunately, Vegemite's the wrong color for that. Trust me.
Okay.
Her daughter.
And it's more of a newborn baby poop.
Okay.
So
No,
this
that
is
seems to be a lot
hilarious.
blacker. That's a lot blacker.
Yeah.
So a friend of mine that I used to work with, her daughter, I think she was around maybe 7 or 8 at the time. She said that she heard her daughter, calling and screaming for her, and she's walking through the house. She's like, "Where are you?" She's like, "I'm in the bathroom. I need toilet paper." And she was like, "Oh, okay." So she cracks the door open a little bit and puts in, a roll of toilet paper for her, and her hand comes out with brown smear all over it, and she was like, "Oh my God!" And she opened the door, because she was like, "What?" And her daughter's there, and her hands are covered in brown smear, and it's on her face, and it's everywhere, and she's freaking out, and she's like, "Mom, it's okay," and she starts licking it, and she said she was like trying not to throw up. She wanted to punch her daughter and run out the door at the same time. She didn't know what to do. She was all freaked out, and it was Nutella. And I'm like, I like your kid.
Yeah.
That was hilarious. I was like, oh
Well,
my God.
after the Vegemite incident, no one will look at Jerry's streams the same now. It's scared to log on to Jerry's streams now.
Right. And we've
gonna be-
now
what's-
if you wonder what
can
Tim's
always
looking
go
at, he's
back to
watching
that
his sub
video.
count go down.
That's the thumbs downs going
He
up.
keeps looking over like, I got to get out of this.
No, it's all good.
Half this stuff's illegal in Canada.
I think 99% of stuff's illegal in Canada.
Yeah,
And the stuff that isn't is illegal in the rest of the states.
that's true. Is that a super racer, Tim?
Yeah,
Oh, man, you got every printer, dude.
I've got a couple on that I have to unbox yet.
I guess when you don't got to pay for medical, you can get all kinds of printers. Jesus.
That's why I have so many.
This has a huge support in it. This job.
I want one of those. I want one of those printers, actually. I don't
they're
need
not
it,
priced
but I want
bad.
it. Huh?
They're not priced bad.
No, I know. I saw they were
$500.
$420. They're at $429 on sale.
Really?
bad.
That's not
Yeah.
bad at all.
I have the Artemis, and I think kind of a cool comparison to see how this printer does it. In the same, kinematic type, I guess.
Is that a Delta, is it?
It is, yeah.
Yeah, it is. Yeah. I can see the round plate now, yeah.
Well, you haven't showed it off in a week. Do you want to show it again and tell people what you're asking for it? Do you want to talk about it or no? You never know. We're on Facebook, my group. We're on my page, and we're on YouTube. So, Lightspeed, if you want to talk about it, you're welcome to.
I feel like nobody wants it, and it's upsetting.
It's a great deal. It's a great deal with all the upgrades, and you've got, what was that last thing? The spare film, not filaments,
Everything. I just went through it today.
Nozzles?
I got three tool heads for it.
Yeah, I've got
It's an awesome printer.
which is my wife's.
I found out that
much to get freighted to me, just for the
the
freight.
Artemis with the I put a mosquito on it a while back, and I don't use it very often, but I found you put that 1.2 nozzle on it, man, it's awesome for like knocking out like like functional stuff. I mean it because it's not real fast because it's got an 800 millimeter Bowden tube on it, so but if you put a big nozzle on it, man, it goes pretty good. But yeah, I don't know, man. I wish I kind of want to get rid of it because I just want to make space, but I don't know. Of course, I got 2 sidekicks sitting here too. So,
What's that really tall Delta? Or what are they called again? It's about 8 or 9 feet tall.
oh, that's they call it the part daddy.
Yeah, I can't remember.
That thing's huge. Yeah, it uses a pellet extruder.
No. Well, you can get them with pellets, but there's another one that's not pellets driven.
Oh yeah, there's a Chinese one that's like really really tall, but it's kind of flimsy looking at the top. So, but yeah, the old Artemis.
I show counting cars here in Las Vegas. Count Cool Rider guy runs the show, and a friend of mine here in Vegas, Walter, does all their polishing on all their cars. They have one down there, which I think it's coming up in an upcoming season. I'm not sure exactly, but it's like looking at the pictures, it looks like it's about 15 foot tall. It's a big
Is that
giant
guy? That guy's still. I saw that printer on one of their episodes. Right, they were going to print car parts with it or something.
Or something, or motorcycle or something. But
yeah, and I never heard of that company before. But it's like they only do commercial printers, right?
It's red and silver, I think.
Yeah, and it's all enclosed.
I don't remember if it's enclosed or not.
Is that show still on the air, Jerry?
I'm not sure. I haven't seen it. I don't watch it that often, but I don't know if it's still running.
I'm surprised, man. Like Pawn Stars and all those. I mean, there was a time Vegas was in its heyday like 10 years ago. I mean, they had so many. They had so many shows on TV.
With any reality show, no matter what it is, there's always so much BS and stuff that's made up for ratings. So with any reality show, you don't know what to believe and what not to believe. The only show I've ever watched that I actually thought was factual is Amazing Race.
Yeah.
The Survivor Amazing Race, where they go city to city and do different challenges. That's something you really can't stage it, but, you know.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure some of it's all planned out, right?
Well, yeah. On that, I heard there's a lot of scripts and stuff. Most shows have scripts. And if there's no arguing and it's boring, they got to make it exciting, so they create things to make the show exciting.
That Counting Cars is all scripted, too. I mean, that's
what I've heard.
It's a super corny. I mean, it's kind of a corny TV show, but I mean, it came from Pawn Stars, right? And Pawn Stars is all scripted too.
A lot of that's phony. I've heard a lot of stuff about Pawn Stars.
Really
well, they have Pawn Stars. They're either half of them are either dead or in jail, right?
Jail. Yeah, I've been in jail.
The old man died. I know that.
Oh, he did?
Yeah, the old man died.
Yep.
I don't know.
Last year. Last year.
The show's still. I mean, I was just in Vegas not too long ago, and I see there's still a line of people out front trying to get in that place.
Yeah,
and I heard that Rick has opened a barbecue restaurant right next to it, and I heard that it's the best barbecue ever, like super good.
Container building right by it or something, I believe it is.
Yeah, and the reviews on his barbecue restaurant are like the best, which is pretty amazing for a tourist trap.
Counting Cars finished last year. Looks like the last season was last year. Haven't done anything since July last year.
I mean, you got that guy. I forget his name, the Count, but you know he's like 60 years old and he's still trying to rock long hair. I mean, he's bald under his do-rag thing. You know,
Danny. I forget his last name.
He's half bald and he's still trying to hold on to the 70s. You know,
years ago in Vegas on one of the networks, he was Count Coolrider. Real late night. It's like an Elvis Presley vampire. And then when I was a little kid, they had what they call the Vegas Vampire for Channel 5. Because Channel 5 used to be a building no bigger than my house years ago on Boulder Highway, right around Tropicana. And then they moved out on Green Valley Parkway, and I think it's Mountain Vista, isn't it? Jason, they got the great big giant Channel 5 is right there now.
Yeah.
What filament's that, Tim? On your Delta there, what's the color? What's filament you got in that Delta? Is that a silver grey?
That's Prusament Galaxy Black.
Oh, okay, looks very grey here. It does on the light. Yeah.
You pretty much only use Prusament, huh, Tim?
Huh?
You only use Prusament?
For the most part, yeah.
Hey, did you ever try the Ad North or no?
Yeah, I've got 6 rolls of it.
Do you like it?
I do. I really like it. Yeah.
That's good. It's great stuff, and the price is good, right?
Yeah, it's not bad, and the shipping.
The problem I have with Prusament is like every time I go to buy something, it seems like it's like every time it's out of stock, you know?
Yeah, well, that one you were talking about, the carbon fiber one, I've got my name on the list to notify me when it's in stock because they're out of stock.
Did you get some? Because it just came in like yesterday, I think. I bought some rolls.
Oh, no, I'll have to look and see.
Yeah, they sent an email yesterday. But it's out of stock already. I mean,
that'll be it.
That happens to me all the time. This is a great color. Let me go order and it's like out of stock. Okay, let me check Atomic, out of stock. Let me check over here, out of stock.
Atomic's getting better. I don't know if you guys know, but Atomic actually sold. He took on I've heard 2 stories. One is that he took on an investor, and one is that he sold the company, but Mike is still managing it. But he told me that he just took on a partner to help build his business, but they moved to a new building and they got more three more.
Yeah.
And so they're there for like 6 months or 8 months during the pandemic, like they were out of everything, you know. I thought they were going to go out of business, but he just bought a Lamborghini, so he's not doing too bad.
Yeah,
he just bought a brand new Lamborghini Aventador, and he lives out in the middle of nowhere, Indiana, too.
He can print his own panels for it. He's okay.
Yeah, yeah. He's got a Tesla Plaid on the way. I mean, they're Atomic guy is doing all right. Filament. There's a lot of money in filament.
Well, everyone's stuck at home. Yeah, there's a great demand for it.
Yeah,
not just that, but when you I asked him about like printed solid, like how does printed solid have so many colors at $20 a roll? It seems like an unbelievable price, and basically the cost of his most expensive roll is under $5.
No more.
So that's with it spooled and on the extruded and on the spool is under $5. So you're basically making you're basically making 4 times your money even at $20. And that's how they offer free shipping and all that stuff, So
yeah, but the cost of those extrusion lines are obscene.
Yeah, they are. And like Prusa meant, in my opinion, like Prusa does a lot of things that nobody else does, like the ability to see the birth record of it and to check the measurements, and I mean, and I think they're becoming the standard on spooling now. Printed Solid just came out and said they're going to start spooling theirs nicer, which they're calling it a premium whatever, but in my opinion, like Prusa is setting the standard on spooling. Like their spooling is so nice.
I have lots of spool. Used to do fantastic spooling.
Yeah. Some of the Chinese brands do good spooling. Like Rep Rapper years
good. And
Rep Rapper years ago had great spooling.
I just they sent me a roll. I don't know, maybe 6 months ago.
Who?
And Rep Rapper.
Yeah.
And it was spooled nice, printed nice. It was like a pink silk.
Yeah, I and their streams, they do a live stream every week.
Yeah, I tried their resin. I think I've had their filament.
And you get 3 or 4 people on their live streams is all they have.
Yeah, Rep Rapper has been around since I started 3D printing in 2016, and they were like the original like of that spooling, like make perfect spooling. Like they used to have guaranteed no tangle spooling, and they did a great job. But yeah, now Printed Solid's spooling's a lot better than it was, because I've had 2 spools from them that I've had tangling in it, even though everybody tells me that's impossible. I've had it happen twice. So.
That happened to John on 2 rolls, I think. 1 at least. Yeah. Remember that, happened. Jerry? He was trying. I think it was that blue. He was printing like whale blue or something. He was printing in, and it got tangled like twice. And I think you told him, call him up, email him.
Yeah. I generally don't try. I try not to buy Printed Solid that much, but I don't know.
I had a tangle once with somebody. I don't remember who it was. So I pulled out like 30 feet and re-spooled it. And I think it was fine after that.
Yeah, I agree. It's super rare, probably, for it to happen. I've had 2 spools from Printed Solid that it's happened though, and I've seen other people have the same issue. But yeah, I put it in the rep box, fresh out of the bag, feed into the printer, and I'll come back and it's a knots. So
the only knots I've ever had in film, like I mentioned before, from any company ever was Arion. I had knot in filament that happened so much it just really ticked me off. It's like I'm not using this no more.
I had Arion with dimensional problems. Like I had it where it was over 2 millimeters before.
Oh wow!
In certain spots, you would test it, and then you would go down. And one spool I showed them, like if you go down like every meter, it would balloon to like it was really. I mean, where the bulges were really consistent, So
like a manufacturing fault.
And then when I would post my pictures on their website after they came out with their own printer, the rep got a hold of me on a PM. And he's like, "Oh no, you can't post that. You need to take that down. I don't like it. That's not our printer." I said, "Yeah, but it's your filament. So you need to go on my website and give me a thumbs up and make a comment about it." It's kind of what I told them privately because they have a printer and I was showing a Creality machine. It's still their filament. It's like, come on, dude, get over yourself.
Filament.
Well, you turn around and say, if you want me to show your printer with your filament, send me your printer.
Exactly. We went round and round about that too. So
I don't have any.
The whole thing with filament, they're not printer brand specific. They're not model specific. They shouldn't.
Well, let's be honest. Creality filament is not from Creality. There's about 5 there's a handful of manufacturers
CC
who make real
exclusively. I used to print. those little tiny spools like with the CR10 or the Enders you get used to be from CC Tree, and I tried a lot of their filament in the past, and it was soft filament, but it printed fine.
Yeah, I think 3D Fuel either does or used to make the filament for Creality.
3D Fuel is actually really good.
But
yeah, it was funny, and I always see people like, "Oh, throw the junk Creality away," and I'm like, "Is it just because it has a Creality sticker on it?"
Send out a quarter spool.
I mean, I've never had a problem with the Creality stuff that came with a printer.
Sample filaments are worthless.
You know, I mean, the little quarter spools are like, why did you even bother to put it in the box? But
it's better than the sample, though.
Yeah, but the quarter spool is better than that loose piece.
Oh yeah, don't send me your sample. That goes right in the garbage.
So I'd rather companies send a quarter spool or a full spool, right, or even a half spool, than those loose. And a lot of printers are coming with that loose stuff. Like they're fine. That's a fine.
Yeah.
That's a quarter spool.
Unbagged, not rolled. Yeah, horrible stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I've never got I get the loose stuff. I've never got those. I've gotten the small individual loose strands, and then I've gotten quarter spools, and I've gotten full spools with some printers. But those loose strands they're asking to get tied up and get knotted and cause problems.
If you buy a rat rig and like it's 500 by 500, you should get a hat and a T-shirt in the mail to go with it, and it shouldn't be extra because that already cost an arm and a leg.
Well, I mean, that's subjective, right? So it may be an arm and a leg to you and me. It might not be. It could be a toenail to someone else.
Well, we don't know what their profit margins are either, but you know.
Okay, are we selling body parts or something?
and I mean, you know, if you compare it to, you know, another kit printer that's popular that, you know, has quality parts, similar kits, it's comparable, really. I mean, by the time you build a Voron, it's about the same price as you build
Here we go.
a rat rig, you know.
That's a nice new one. That's the new one.
But it's bigger.
That's off the Prusa.
That's the new clock spring one, right?
That's the new clock spring with the cable storage as well.
Phone holder, cable. Yeah. Okay.
Yep.
Very cool.
That's the new one.
That's a nice design.
That came out fine. That came out fine.
About 6 inches wide. Looks on camera like it's like 6 inches wide.
It's
about 4 inches wide, right?
Okay.
Maybe.
Oh,
about
yeah.
as wide as your hand, your forefinger.
It's a wider one, yeah.
Compared to Trump's head.
Yeah.
It's about the size of a.
What orientation?
Yeah, so it's good. You can put it. It's good for a tablet as well. It's a nice
Wide as
width
your
for
wide
tablets
phone.
or
Yeah, it won't tip.
no.
Yeah,
Like rock.
so like.
Yeah.
Okay.
But it's
Yeah,
got
it's pretty
a
slick.
nice spot to store your charge cable and everything else in the base of it, which is quite nice.
Yeah. Yeah, this is the first print I've had with that IC3D too. It's pretty nice.
Well, IC3D is good material. It's fantastic. I love the material. As I said, for PETG, I only buy my PETG from them. And
from IC3D?
Yeah, and I've never had issues with it ever. I get prints like this is a print with this is IC3D natural filament.
That's nice.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And the support it was printed this way down with the supports. The supports, I just grabbed them with a pliers, pulled, and out it came. No issue.
There he is.
Nice.
Hey, John.
Hey, John.
You know, I hear someone saying it's an arm and a leg. Why is everyone talking about
Sorry, we were having biped talk before you got here.
Okay.
Guys, we can't talk about that no more.
No.
So
what's that?
With you, Tripod? What are you working on? Or what
what am I working on? I'm working on getting some
a cold beer. A cold beer, I hope.
I'm working on a sandwich.
Mediterranean food. That's what I'm working on.
Where's the Vegemite? Where's the Vegemite?
Where's the Vegemite?
My wife says we all need to quit picking on Tripod. She said you need to stop making wisecracks about Tripod. It's not very nice. And I said,
We're making you wisecracks.
He wants it.
If Tripod got offended, he would probably tell me privately, don't do that, and then I'd stop.
I'm not the one trying to mix ABS and PLA.
Yes, I am, and I've done it.
Well, TPU and PLA, wasn't it?
TPU and PLA works fantastic as well. They bond really well when you print them together. Yeah.
Well, TPUs stick to anything.
They will. Yeah. TPU will stick to anything.
Yeah.
If I ever offend anybody, PM me on Facebook. Let me know, and I'll make sure.
Hang on, let me just get on there right now, Jerry. Hang on.
Well, and if I ever offend anyone,
and Liam, and Jason, and everybody, I'll be here all day. I'm teaming.
Yeah, I popped in a Liam stream one night, or actually I was watching him before I popped in, and he automatically did it. He put Liam/Ike right on his screen. So
yeah, I don't mind being called Ike. It's okay. I've been called worse. I'm married. I've been called what's worse.
Has anybody ever asked you when I'm not around, what does Ike mean?
I know everything.
So.
Okay.
I don't think I've ever been asked that.
All right. Well, anyway, his nickname Ike, I know everything. That's something I kind of thought.
That's what Jerry calls me.
So.
Oh, okay.
Among other things.
There's a lot of times people will be on the stream talking about what they're doing, and they know their product or their printer really well. And then sometimes Ike will pop in and correct them. And I'm thinking, dude, let them finish. So then I pop up the picture right here.
And the guy, and it's usually like the manufacturer of the item that has to be corrected by Liam.
Well, they use the wrong terms, right? They often do it.
Yeah.
Phrasing is everything.
You have spelled Snaily wrong. He's going to tell you.
Snaily would be a fun one to get on the stream with.
Snaily is 2 E's at the end, and everybody knows that.
No, we need to jump on that with we all need to jump on that one with 2 trees.
Oh my gosh, I'm not jumping on a snail.
All over that one.
A long time ago, when I first met Spring, and I was on her live stream for one of her shows, she had sent me kind of like a script of questions of what she was going to ask me, and I'm glad she did, because originally a lot of the things she said and their internet breaking up, I didn't know I couldn't hear her clearly, so I would look at that question and then I would just go with an answer. And when people do that in advance, you can correct them on certain words if they don't understand the American pronunciation, and then I would correct different words and explain why it means this and not what you're typing as doesn't make sense.
Yeah, but that's the way Spring always ran her interviews like that.
It's good to do that. So
yeah.
And then she dropped off stream for like 15 minutes. So, and since I streamed live myself, I was able to carry it. So she eventually popped back in. So her internet goes down a lot.
Yeah, that happened when she interviewed me as well.
Yeah,
and she was there, and it kind of went away, and I was waiting. And so, well, since Spring is not going back, let's begin the Liam show. And I just rolled with it.
The one time Tim went down, and I no longer had a code to get in on Tim's stream, but Jason did. So I PM'd him, and then Jason jumped in and carried it till he got back.
Yeah. Then that's the day
I wouldn't call it carried it. I just kind of
improved
it. Yeah, see, Jason.
That's fighting word. That is
I was more like the ticket taker at the movie theater.
When Tim is doing a live stream, Jason, and I tagged Tim, I know he can't read it, but I know you're sitting there reading it. And my point is for you to read that to him.
That for a minute, Jerry, I thought you were making it R-rated when you said tag.
Oh, that was the Snaily discussion earlier on.
Yeah, I kind of missed that when I was going in to get.
You're lucky. You're lucky.
Yeah, you can go back and watch this.
It got real close.
With Karen on, how could that ever not happen?
Trust me, it got closer.
I'm usually the person that jumps on streams and kind of pushes it over the edge by my wisecracks. I kind of beat around the bush and chat a lot, and or somebody will say something, because the way my mind works is when you say anything, I just automatically pick apart what you're saying and turn it around into something else. But I try not to do that on my own streams.
Yeah, you don't have to. Kieran is here to do it for you.
Yeah.
I mean, we got enough.
In case you drop that ball there, Jerry, we'll pick up the slack very easily.
If I'm doing a live stream on a printer and I drop my nuts on the floor, I'm not going to laugh about it. I'm going to go with it. I'm going to go pick them up.
Yeah. Well, Jason dropping his balls everywhere. We know Jason did that a lot.
And they went everywhere.
They went hell of a mess. We got off stream. He pulled off the top, and they just went everywhere. Why couldn't that have happened 5 minutes ago when everybody would have seen it?
Well, I mean, Jerry, your stream for your Prusa was just nothing but balls and lube. So
yeah, I mean, Chris Riley had that episode that was about rods and balls.
He did,
yeah, exactly.
Well, the thing where you really let me down, Jerry, was when you were building Eggbot and you first got it set up and it started to catch fire. and you decided to unplug the battery instead of getting the camera to film it. That's where you really let me down.
You caught
You
fire
know,
real
the
quick.
story just wasn't
No.
as good as the video would have been.
Yeah.
You're
I'm
not.
sorry.
So you're not as prepared as tripod is for the fire, you know.
Yeah.
He has 3 cameras running continuously just in case.
Right? It's the fire's a given over at John's house.
Yeah, whenever I go anywhere, do anything, it's like, wow, I can make a video about that, or I should take a picture of that. So you never know.
I think John has thermal activated cameras.
So they're running all the time then, because either the AC's broke or a printer's on fire.
Yeah.
Which means they're
He
not
hasn't
much
had an
point having
earthquake
them.
yet. There hasn't been an earthquake yet.
We did have one, but it was like 10 years ago.
Yeah.
Time for another one then.
Well,
Got you.
since we lived next door to the train station, actually, we thought it was a freight train going by because the house will rattle just like the stemware on the house.
Mm.
And if it's like a real heavy train with oil tankers or something on it, you guys should feel it. But that's what we thought. And then the next morning, that morning, we heard it was an earthquake. Like, oh, okay.
His his driveway is going to split down the middle about a foot wide. He's going to call up and complain if they covered under warranty. They're going to say no, and they'll do a video about it.
Well, there is going to be an update video because there will be a part 3 to this.
I was in.
Are they coming back?
LA. I was in LA once, and the.
I'll wait for the video. I'll wait for the video.
Yeah.
No spoilers.
Yeah, I was in LA once, and people who lived there, who were at the event with me, all of a sudden everyone turned around and said, "Do you feel that?" I felt nothing. There was a quake. They felt it. I didn't feel anything. I didn't even notice it at all. But they're so tuned into it that they feel the small tremors, and like most people who just visit there would never feel them.
That happens to us here. You know, if they get a big enough one in California, we might get, a little. The after something over here, after shock or whatever over here, and Sandra's like, "Do you feel that? Is that an earthquake?" And I'm like, "No, I think it was just like the stereo. I don't think." What are you talking about?
It was.
You didn't see the light shaking? I'm like, "What are you talking about? What pills did you take today?" I'm like, "Yeah."
Actually, what most people don't realize is, big buildings sway, right? They move with the wind.
Sure.
Yeah. A lot of people don't realize that. Like,
yeah.
But everyone I was with friends in France, right, in Paris, and I told them to go up to the top of the Eiffel Tower and to lean against the wall of it. Just lean against the railing at the top. You can actually feel it sway like this if you actually relax. When you're walking around, you don't feel it that much, but if you actually pay attention to what's happening, you can actually feel your body sway because it moves with the wind.
That's how our air traffic control tower is on this. I think it's the 16th floor, 15th or 16th floor. The whole floor is a giant counterweight that swings. So as the tower does this, it's going the other way and it reduces it to almost nothing. It still moves a little bit, but
it counteracts it.
Years ago, the Sahara Hotel here in Vegas, they're building another tower. Don't know what they call that casino now, but Sahara in Las Vegas Boulevard. Used to be the Sahara. Anyway, the old tower and the new tower, right where they met when they were building it, there's still a air gap like 3 or 4 inches between the buildings. And when you would step in between them, or you could just look down and see one moving like 3 inches back and forth. It isn't enough that you notice walking around in it, but when you look at another structure, you can see it moving a little bit.
Yeah,
depending on the wind or whatever.
Ours is that we have the base building and then the towers next to it, and where they don't touch, but where they're joined, because you have to walk through one. There's there's plates obviously that kind of finish it off on the inside, but underneath, you could see the same thing.
Yeah, they probably have expansion joints that you could see them move as well.
Yeah.
Go to the Sears Tower in Chicago.
Oh, that moves a lot.
Does it have any? It's Sears. Okay, that's what we call it. Okay. You're just we don't call it Big Willie. Okay.
But that moves an awful lot.
Yeah.
I've been up in there.
I mean, if it was that, Liam would be there right away. But you go to the
Liam wants to see a Big Willie move. Better sit in the LinkedIn, John.
Well, when he's done with the Toys for Tots, you said you're going to print the Bezos Blue Origin rocket, right? You
No.
like the styling of it. That's what you said.
Yeah.
I've never-
But that building sways a lot because there's no counterweight on it.
yeah, it does. Yeah,
Wow.
and it's so windy in Chicago, especially. Yeah,
Well, it's right off the river too.
Yeah.
So when you cross on Wacker and go over to the river towards Canal, I can't tell you how much on crutches I thought I was gonna just blow right into that river, man. I'm like,
Wow.
it sucks, man. It is really bad. Every day, hooking it to Union Station, and it was not fun, but.
Yeah, I've heard someone say it moves something like about a foot or so, 1.5 feet is it can sway.
Yeah, the newer building, like there's a new building in towards the North Shore. It's got a breezeway through it, and actually it had to be redesigned 3/4 of the way built to actually accommodate that breezeway.
Wow.
And there's another one that's right by Union Station that has a pool of water on the top as its counterweight.
Yeah. Yeah, the Sands hotel in Singapore has a pool on the roof.
Yeah.
And it's partly for counterweight, and it's also it's because I have a garden up there as well. But the reason why they added it because Singapore sometimes gets quakes because it's right on the border between the different lines. Okay, and so it sometimes gets slight wakes, not much of a quake, but a little bit, because it's far enough in off the edge of the lines for it to really affect it. But that's why they added it, because the building is so tall.
Guys, I'm taking off.
Thank you
See ya.
very much for coming. I really
Bye, everybody.
appreciate it. Have a
Take
great
care.
day.
Later, man.
Thanks for having me.
Bye-bye.
Take care.
Liam, if you need an interpreter,
I'll let you know. Yeah,
he said I'll let you know. All right, bye.
Yeah, tripod. I PM'd you, but I wouldn't answer that here because of what I'm talking about. So I just thought about it, and I thought I'd ask you about it because that's
Oh yeah, I mean, take a look.
Well, you know what I'm talking about, but I'm just wondering. So,
well, let's just say that they want to redo the driveway, but they want to use infrared, which is probably I mean, it's actually really cool how they do it, but you had to look it up because I have no idea what it was. And you take a heating plate, they basically heat up that part of the driveway, and they just re-agitate everything and throw some new aggregate on it and
Mixes.
roll it, and
water got underneath it and lifted is what it sounds like, but
it's the driveway's a mess.
must be a soil problem with the
Oh,
water
yeah.
being so wet.
Put it this way: at first he said he may have to rip it all up, and then it's going to be in the video anyways. And then he comes back a couple weeks later and he says, "Well, they were going to just infrared it." And I'm like, and I look it up, but the process is, I'm like, no, I don't want 5 patches on my driveway. And
Yeah, he paid all that money. It needs to look perfect.
yeah. And then he's like, well, if we tear it up, what happens if there is, because he insisted that there was 6 inches of face on there before the asphalt. And I'm like, no. And he's like, what happens if there is? And we rip it up and there is. You got to pay for it? And I said, no, let me throw that back at you. If it's not dug up and verified, that means I have to live with it. And I have all the shots of it that I didn't use, about 60%
The B-rolls.
Most parking lots are 4 or 5 inches thick, and I cut some asphalt because I used to cut concrete and asphalt back in the day. Charleston and Lamb, they're working on some underground lines, and it was like 18 inches thick. Really ridiculous. But most shopping centers like 4 inches.
Yeah, it goes by lifts, and it's based on what the traffic weight projection is supposed to be, so that it doesn't sink and collapse and crack.
There's a spot in the video, 11 minutes in, where there's a patch of clay and dirt that never gets moved or excavated. And so I took a whole bunch of pictures of it, highlighted it and sent it to him. Still there, like 7 shots. Still there, and then it's finally getting rolled over. Still there. And he never responded back. That was 3 weeks ago. So,
But yeah, but if he does make it right, that's cool. That's a good thing, right? Because that's good for him.
Yeah,
because it's good PR that he'll go the lengths to make it correct.
Yeah, but
if he doesn't, then it's bad PR for him.
Yeah, he doesn't realize.
Hopefully, the guy you're talking to realizes you've already done a video on it and you're getting ready to do another one. So
I'm sure he sent the video to them.
Yeah.
He's the one that agreed to be filmed. Okay, if you're gonna be he's the owner of the company. I said, yeah.
The last thing you want to do is put it on record. No, exactly.
Yeah. If he comes out and does the work and says, no, you can't film us, well, you're on your private property. It's your job.
Something wrong somewhere.
I will sneak that footage in regardless. It doesn't matter. It's my property, and that's what a lot of people said in the video. First off, they didn't listen to why I said, "All right, have approval." Well, all they saw was a guy sitting in a chair controlling his drone.
Living the dream, playing with his toys.
In the US, he didn't want to be on camera. You'd probably have to go into the studio.
Actually, no. In the US, under federal law, it was approved that anyone if you're out in public, if you're in your backyard, you have a right to privacy. If you're in your house, you have a right to privacy. If you're standing in your front yard by a public road and someone takes a photograph of that road, or of their property, you have no right to privacy because you're out in public view.
Public access. Why YouTube, Google Maps with the drive pass.
It's not using maps.
On Fremont Street on Fremont Street in the Strip, you got people that dress up like showgirls and all kinds of characters, wanting money, take your pictures with them. I've seen videos on YouTube where other people have filmed them, and those people freak out and start cussing at the person.
No, you have the right under law to take a photograph of a public
space, public land,
without anybody on that public street, because you have no right to privacy or assumption of privacy in a public place.
Liam, okay, back to correcting on words. It's called privacy, not privacy.
The legal term is you have no right to privacy. That's the actual term they use in law.
You're mispronouncing. It's privacy.
That's not how they pronounce it in law and in court.
Anyways, it's gonna be an epic troll video. So
maybe
it'll be good.
Do you say privacy or privacy?
Me?
Privacy.
I usually say privacy.
Okay, all right, there you go.
Yeah, I'm just saying.
But I'm Norwegian. I don't speak English. So.
Yeah.
But you're private to say what you want.
Yeah, it was like, I'm the.
See what I did there? Nobody saw what I did there.
I said I laughed.
Yeah.
He said it's your privacy. You can do what you want.
These trolls were like, can't believe you're sitting there breathing down their necks. I'm like, well, it's during COVID. Well, why would I do that? I'm like, I troll them back, but I'm the film crew. You saw me filming them, and I'm anywhere from 20 to 60 feet away from them at all times. When the camera was on the ground, 25 feet away. Up in the air, at least 30 plus feet.
Yeah.
Yeah, I hardly call that breathing down their necks.
And as much as that costs, you should film it. It's like when they built this house that I'm in, I lived like a half mile up the street in an apartment with my son when he was real little. I came by here every single day, almost every other day probably, just to take pictures of what they've done new on my house, all the interior walls, the concrete, everything that was done. And I caught a lot of screw-ups and mistakes, and I had them correct it before they went ahead and finished it, and then nobody knows it ever happened.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Well, you have to monitor what people are doing to make sure the work is done right.
I've got a wall in the bathroom that all the pipes are out of the walls, so you can see where they jackhammered to move all the plumbing over, but they didn't fill the holes. They left them. And I complained to the one guy about it. And I said, and some bugs will come up. And he goes, there's 100 billion pounds or whatever he said of concrete on the ground. They're dead. There's no ants or bugs under your house. I go, are you a fucking idiot or what? And I said, fill the holes. You didn't kill anything. Trust me. Anyway.
No, we agree with you 100%.
See, I typically say the S or the F word occasionally.
No, we couldn't tell. I mean,
yeah,
we never let the fuck bomb drop on here.
Anyway,
we didn't even hear it. We didn't even hear it.
Yeah, the F-bomb was my favorite word around the house.
Well,
anyway.
Well, guys, I'm going to take off because I'm starving. I didn't eat breakfast.
And it's
I
8:30
had
for
my
me.
Vegemite
Or
sandwich.
lunch.
I'm okay.
yeah, I
You got
didn't.
Vegemite sandwich.
Nope. Going to
7
go.
hours
It's
ago.
going to be turkey or chicken. Those are my options.
Before you leave, everybody say goodbye to everybody. I'll just end the stream because we've been going here for 3 hours, 40 minutes.
Oh, wow.
And let me figure out where I'm at here on my end screen buttons. Here we
Well,
go.
I got off work in time to join in for at least 20 minutes without being in my car frozen on the screen. I don't think John knows he's on there. Oh, yeah, I do.
All right, guys. I'll catch you later.
Later.
Take care.
All right, cheers, Jason.
Bye.
Everybody watching, please like, subscribe, share the stream. I try to be on every Saturday.
Yeah, you
try to
got
come
a
back.
good,
I
got a good
try to
run
get
of
out a
likes
video
again,
when I
Jerry,
can.
so that's good.
What's that?
A good run of likes. I think 30 likes, so that's not bad. Only one thumbs down as usual, so that's okay.
Yeah.
Only one.
It was probably, it wasn't me.
That was probably Chris Kersey.
Yeah.
Hey, when did he jump on? I mean, I didn't. I mean, when I.
About 20 or 30 minutes into it, I think he
Yep.
jumped in.
I get on Twitter and I PM a lot of different people on Twitter, and if they can make it, they can make it, and if they can't, they can't. So,
That's good.
but
It
thank
was
you very
actually a
much.
full house. It was a full house today.
Yeah, we
Very
had 9
well.
people in it.
A lot of people jumping in.
Yeah.
Thank
Chris
you
is a
very much,
nice
everybody,
guy.
for coming. I really appreciate it. So,
But
please like,
Karen, I gotta
subscribe,
say,
and
I'm
share.
disappointed.
Everybody have a great weekend, and we'll see you back. Lane will be on Wednesday night. Tripod is
Wednesday night.
constantly come out with videos.
But we got Tim tomorrow. Tim's on tomorrow.
Yeah, Tim tomorrow night. They'll be working on his rat rig. So please.
And his first aid count. Yep.
Yeah, there'll be another giveaway too.
Well, I'm disappointed you didn't read my sign now.
What happened?
Well,
Streams without accident,
no, it's
zero.
still zero. It's still zero.
No, but
It resets.
I inadvertently cut the S off. Now it's Reams without an accident.
Reams without accident.
So, yeah. Anyway,
Or dreams without an accident.
A ring
Thank
job
you,
or
guys.
something?
Burn up everything later.
Take care, guys.
Everybody
Later,
take
guys.
care. Have a great night. Bye-bye.
take care.